Update your kitchen or bathroom with Von Tobel. Get 20% off select cabinets now through October 28th. Von Tobel has cabinets and vanities in a range of styles and colors. Plus, built-in storage, countertops, and flooring. Our designers will help you find the perfect selections for your style and budget. Scan to visit VonTobels.com today to book your free consultation at one of our 4 Indiana showrooms. Von Tobel. Building better together.
Quintel Incorporated is a family-owned and operated company located in Northwest Indiana that specializes in the reconditioning, repair, and remanufacturing of heat exchangers. Since 1994, Quintel has been handling jobs of all sizes throughout the country. Equipped with the most modern technology and advanced tools, Quintel provides top-notch service. When you trust Quintel for all your needs, you'll get peace of mind and a finished job that exceeds your expectations. For more info about Quintel and the services they provide, visit quintel-inc.com.
Four Seasons Mechanical proudly serves Northwest Indiana, providing quality, reasonably priced, reliable service. With a quality and comfort guarantee, the professionals at Four Seasons Mechanical offer a wide range of services in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Whether it's residential or commercial, Four Seasons Mechanical is there 24/7. To find out more, the website is fourseasonsmechanical.com or give them a call at 219-756-7020. Four Seasons Mechanical, your indoor air quality specialist.
How far would you go to relive another Friday night under the lights? Well, lucky for you, you don't need to go that far at all. At Region Sports Network, we have a collection of thousands of games, ranging from now can
Hi, I'm Crowell Man. I'll cover your. I'll be with you on the water. I'll be with you on the snow. I'll cover your insurance needs wherever you go. I'll be at Crowell Agency from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. As Crowell Company's Lantern Man, I'm your insurance superhero.
Crowell Companies, the insurance professionals in Highland, Maryville, and Michigan City.
When life keeps you busy and you can't get to the store, shop online.
Schools to stadiums, hospitals and bridges. Everywhere you look, union carpenters are building Indiana. With jobs and skilled trades in high demand, there's never been a better time to start building your future. As an apprentice, you'll earn a debt-free college degree, earn while you learn, and receive great benefits like healthcare and retirement. So what are you waiting for? Visit carpenters.com to learn more. Visit carpenters.com and start building your future today.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us, and welcome to Game Night in the Region, built by Von Tobel on the Region Sports Network, streaming worldwide on the internet at facebook.com/Region Sports, youtube.com/Region Sports, regionsports.com, and ihsatv.org. We come to you tonight from Valparaiso on the campus of Wheeler High School as Von Tobel presents the Griffith Panthers, taking on the number 8 Wheeler Bearcats. I'm Jack Thiel. I'll have the play-by-play for tonight's game, and joining me with color analysis is Doug Nelson. Big game here, Doug. Last one of the regular season. Obviously, the weather has not been too kind. It's raining right now here at Wheeler High School, but still two teams with a lot to play for. We'll start with the Griffith Panthers, a very young team, only one senior on the squad so far. But for Phil Mason, he's really found something just because it was a rough start for them. You know, the start of the year, they had a 3-game losing streak. Then after they went on a 2-game winning streak, a couple of losses now, but what we've known about Phil Mason is he's one of the best coaches in the area to make those types of adjustments. And although he does only have one senior on this team, he's led by one of the best junior running backs in the area, in Jackson Lawson, who has over 1,000 rushing yards and 19 touchdowns, which is second in Northwest Indiana.
Yeah, again, you talk about Coach Mason and his staff and how young this team is. I mean, it's going to be, when you're this young, he must have went through a lot of Pepto-Bismol, man. You know, the one thing about youth is you just know you're going to look really good for one series, and the next series you don't know what's coming. So, you know, he's the right guy for the job, though. I mean, as young as they are, what a fun project to have, and what a great tool to have with Jackson Lawson. You know, what a great running back, and that's his game. That's what Coach Mason wants to do, is run the football.
Yeah, he averages 6.5 yards per carry. He can also catch the football, 6 catches for 78 yards. They also are led by a quarterback in the junior, Colton Strezzo. He's had an up-and-down year, 3 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, including a rushing touchdown as well. But when you look at this type of weather, this screams a huge game for Jackson Lawson with how much rain has fallen and how much rain is still falling here.
Absolutely. It's going to be about ball control and possessing the ball, right? 2 hands on the ball. No matter what, it's going to be a slick pill here tonight. So I'm sure a point of emphasis all week has been to maintain the football and control the ball and always have 2 hands on the ball.
For the Wheeler Bearcats, man, what a turnaround for them. They started the year 0-3. They have now won 5 in a row. In fact, if they win tonight, they will clinch the GSSC South. It'd be their first one since 2015. Nick Testa, in his first year at Wheeler, he spent 3 years at Hammond Clark previously. And this is a team that can score the football. You talk about Caleb Klimzak, the junior quarterback, and Bryce Compton. Those two have been bread and butter so far. For Bryce Compton, 38 catches, 817 yards, which is second in the region, and 7 touchdowns. But you go to his quarterback, 17 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. In fact, the duo, Compton and Klimzak, responsible for 41% of his passing touchdowns, 52% of his passing yards, and 40% of his completions. If Wheeler wants to start a good way, it's going to be between the duo of Klimzak and Compton.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see how the weather affects that tonight. And, you know, this is a good game. As you said, I talked to Coach Testa during the week, get some insight. And, you know, he was talking about how he wants the Bearcats to not share. They don't want to share the title. They want it. They want it outright, right? And the big win over Boone Grove in the north half, and Boone's undefeated up there. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they control the football and see if they can, you know, how they get first downs in this weather when they're really pass heavy. You know, we talked about it all year about to advance in the tournament, you've got to be able to run the football. So that's why this is a nice evening to practice that and work on that and see how it develops this year.
For the Wheeler Bearcats, this is a team that can run the football, though. Jaden Ortiz, their running back, comes in with 9 touchdowns. He's 10th in the region in rushing yards. In fact, on this 5-game win streak for the Bearcats, he has 8 touchdowns and 3 100-yard-plus rushing games. So if you do need to turn into that, you know, that rushing attack, Jaden Ortiz has easily shown that he can handle that workload.
Yeah, again, it's going to come down to possessing the football. Don't turn it over. You know, give your defense a short field to work with. So, yeah, again, you know, when I talked to Coach, he said that I think both teams are going to be run heavy, you know, coming into tonight, even without the weather. So, you know, we'll see how it goes and who can, you know, maintain it and give yourself a decent field to work with.
And you got to give a lot of credit to Nick Testa for this Bearcat team, just because we talked about how they started 0-3 on the year. In those first 3 games, the offense only scored 45 points combined, and they were giving up 30 points as a defense average. Go to their last 5 games on this win streak, they've outscored their opponents 189-52. 4 of those games, 35 or more points they scored, and they had 2 shutout wins in that stretch. You know, going through that, how do you make adjustments in the middle of the year? Obviously, you're 0-3. Things are looking very tough, and all of a sudden, here you are, 5-game win streak. Could make it 6. You have a bye in sectionals next week. You know, everything seems to be going right for Wheeler. How do you turn that switch in the middle of a year when things are looking bleak?
Well, what he said was really good. I mean, I love talking to Nick. I could have talked to him for hours, but it's really coming down right now, by the way. But he said they sat down and had a meeting with their seniors after the River Forest game that they lost, that they felt that they should have had. So that, you know, and afterwards the kids really bought in. It was really a player-led meeting. The kids really bought in, and it's hard with the first-year coach. We could talk about that for an hour as well. Just first-year coach, are your kids going to buy in? The new guy, he doesn't know anything. You know, does he know anything? You know, there's a lot of doubts both ways. And, Yeah, he was really high on his kids for really stepping up and taking ownership of the program and getting the weight room and doing the little things it takes to win, and it seems to be working out for him.
Yeah, absolutely. Just a reminder, you're watching the Quintel Kickoff Show in our game night built by Von Tobel here at Wheeler High School. We are going to take a 2-minute break, and when we'll be right back, we'll talk about this head coach matchup and how these two coaches have had similar paths in the beginning of their coaching careers. Once again, we're going to take a 2-minute break as you're watching Game Night built by Von Tobel on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Update your kitchen or bathroom with Von Tobel. Get 20% off select cabinets now through October 28th. Von Tobel has cabinets and vanities in a range of styles and colors. Plus, built-in storage, countertops, and flooring. Our designers will help you find the perfect selections for your style and budget. Scan to visit vontobels.com today to book your free consultation at one of our 4 Indiana showrooms. Von Tobel. Building better together.
Quintel Incorporated is a family-owned and operated company located in Northwest Indiana that specializes in the reconditioning, repair, and remanufacturing of heat exchangers. Since 1994, Quintel has been handling jobs of all sizes throughout the country. Equipped with the most modern technology and advanced tools, Quintel provides top-notch service. When you trust Quintel for all your needs, you'll get peace of mind and a finished job that exceeds your expectations. For more info about Quintel and the services they provide, visit quintel-inc.com.
Back here on our game night built by Von Tobel on the Region Sports Network. Wheeler and Griffith almost set the face-off here. We do have some ugly weather on hand for you tonight just because the rain is coming down, and, you know, earlier the rain was coming down really hard, and then there was kind of that window where it was light rain and no rain, and now it's really getting to that heavy stuff. You can see, you know, from our camera, a little bit of some umbrellas, and it is senior night tonight for these Bearcats. A little bit of probably the weather they didn't want, but, you know, something I've had the pleasure of doing when I was, you know, looking at my research and doing things is when you think of matchups, no one ever thinks about head coaches, and, you know, but for Phil Mason and Nick Testa, they have crossed similar paths, and you ask, how is that the case? Well, of course, this is new school versus old school. Nick Testa, a young and upcoming coach, and Phil Mason, obviously, a very solidified coach. He's been doing this for many years, obviously the state championship with Andrean. But a fun fact is these two coaches have coached at the same school at different periods of time. You have Nick Testa, who's coached at Hammond Clark for 3 years. That was from 2019 to 2021. And then, of course, here at Wheeler. Well, for Phil Mason, he coached a couple of years at Hammond Clark, and he coached 3 or 4 seasons here at Wheeler High School. So two coaches whose first 2 jobs in high school football in the region are Hammond Clark and Wheeler. Now, I don't know if those coaches know about that. That's kind of weird history, but nevertheless, 2 coaches who, like we said, one's very new school in Nick Testa, one's very old school in Phil Mason. But obviously, Nick Testa, he's got some magic here this year. You know, you talk about a brand new football field just built this year. And, of course, season doesn't go the way you want it. Well, you flip that switch, 5 wins in a row, and they're looking for number 6. And this team has looked every bit impressive the last 5 games.
Yeah, I'm high on Nick Testa. I think he's the guy. He's one of the younger, the good younger guys we have around. Yeah. Again, when I was talking to him, you know, this past week, he said all the right things. You know, made me, not to make myself feel old, but I was like, man, I'm impressed by what he's saying, you know, because it was like if I'm running a program, that's a lot of the things that we talked about. So, yeah, Coach Mason, if Nick was to end up and have the career that Coach Mason has, I'm sure he'd be very happy.
Absolutely.
You know, we're winning 9 sectionals and having a state championship. But if Nick, you know, sticks it out here, which I hope he does, and you can, like you said, you got the resources and the community behind you with the new field and facilities. It's beautiful around here. So Nick's got a good thing going, as you mentioned, and he's got a young team, and they can continue to build and have a good offseason in the weight room, and which is very important, and, you know, have a good run in the postseason. Like you said, it starts with a bye, which is every coach's dream.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, you know, and Coach Mason, like you said, he's bounced around a little bit, but he's had success wherever he's gone. Yeah. And, you know, Michigan City, Andrean, and Clark, and he got where he wanted to be. And he's with only one senior on their roster, if he sticks it out and has a good couple off seasons, get in the weight room and some reps and some video and some 7-on-7s, some good summers. Good things are coming here for the Griffith Panthers.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the Panthers don't have the record they want, but nevertheless, when you only have one senior and you're still finding ways to win football games, that speaks to the coach, but it also speaks that the players love playing for Phil Mason. They're buying into what he says at practice, in the locker room, during the games. First-year head coaches, especially in high school football, it's very hard to transition because you have to really buy what your coach is preaching. And we've seen that with a couple of teams. LaPorte, Michigan City, one of them. You have Wheeler here and Griffith, two first-year head coaches with new teams, I should say. And it seems like both teams have really bought in to what their coaches are preaching every week, every practice, every workout, every film room session. And I really think this is going to be a very close game tonight just because these are two teams playing some great football. And there's a lot of young talent. A lot of the guys we were talking about earlier in the Quintel kickoff show, they were juniors.
Yeah.
Klimzak, the quarterback, Jaden Ortiz, Bryce Compton, all juniors. Colton Strezzo, you have Jackson Lawson, all juniors as well. So, it's kind of funny because you're always talking about senior leadership. It's senior night. But you're going to get a heavy dose of those junior playmakers tonight.
Yeah. Again, playmakers are playmakers anymore. Kids are developing younger and getting into the weight room and trainers. And individual coaches and that kind of thing. But it is kind of a neat clash of strategies and philosophies because you got this Griffith as a traditionally strong football town. Mm-hmm. And Wheeler's relatively young football town.
Yeah.
They're still trying to build themselves and get the numbers up and create a buzz. And with these facilities and lights and resources and like we said, the support of the community, there is no ceiling here. They can do whatever. They can be as good as they want to be. Mm-hmm. So both guys are in both interesting coaching positions and both a lot of upside, for the future.
Yeah, almost 10 minutes till kickoff here at Wheeler High School. Just a reminder, you're watching RSN Game Night presented by Von Tobel. Von Tobel, building better together, your local building material supplier and design center. Visit vontobel.com to find out more. And Lango's Pizza has been a favorite spot since 1979. Enjoy pizza, sandwiches, and more. Dine in or carry out. Lango serves Northwest Indiana from their 3 locations, Highland, Cherville, and Crown Point. Order online at langospizza.com. Lango's Pizza, the official pizza of the Region Sports Network. And, of course, now it's time for the Friday night forecast that is brought to you by our friends at Economy Electric Heating and Cooling. Tonight's forecast, well, we've kind of hinted towards it throughout the night. It is not a pretty night as of right now, 52 degrees. Rain is falling. It's expected to fall for the duration of the game, but right now, grab your blankets, grab your heavy jackets, grab your umbrellas, whatever keeps you dry and warm. Please have those right next to you if you're here at Wheeler High School. And, of course, that's the Game Night Forecast brought to you by Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer and cozy in the winter with 24/7 emergency service. Comfort isn't far away. Visit them on the web at 4ajobdoneright.com. Now just under 10 minutes until kickoff, but with that, we are going to take a break here at Wheeler High School, and we are about to have some football for you. The last week of the regular season, week number 9 on hand for you. We'll take a 2-minute break as you're watching Game Night built by Von Tobel on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Four Seasons Mechanical proudly serves Northwest Indiana, providing quality, reasonably priced, reliable service. With a quality and comfort guarantee, the professionals at Four Seasons Mechanical offer a wide range of services in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Whether it's residential or commercial, Four Seasons Mechanical is there 24/7. To find out more, the website is fourseasonsmechanical.com or give them a call at 219-756-7020. Four Seasons Mechanical, your indoor air quality specialists.
How far would you go to relive another Friday night under the lights? Well, lucky for you, you don't need to go that far at all. At Region Sports Network, we have a collection of over thousands of games, ranging from last week to the 1960s. Now, you can relive the thrilling victories, the heartbreaking defeats, and all the things that make Friday Night Lights so great. Talk to us here at RSN and help us remember the region. Please visit Remember the Region with the link on the screen or through our link tree found on our social media platforms. Hashtag Remember the Region.
When life keeps you busy and you can't get to the store, shop online with Strachan Van Til To Go. Our to-go service is easy to use. Register using your rewards account information, fill your virtual cart, and choose delivery or pickup. Once your order is in, our own Strachan Van Til team preps your order with care. With our to-go service, you can earn reward points and save time and money with our online coupons and weekly ad prices. Life made simple, shopping made easy. For more information or to sign up, visit shop.strachanvantil.com.
Hi, I'm Crowell Company's Lantern Man. I'll cover your motorcycle. I'll be with you on the water. I'll be with you on the snow. I'll cover your insurance needs wherever you go. I'll be at Crowell Agency from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. As Crowell Company's Lantern Man, I'm your insurance superhero.
Crowell Companies, the insurance professionals in Highland, Maryville, and Michigan City.
That's what I'm saying.
Welcome back as you're watching Game Night built by Von Tobel here on the Region Sports Network. We're live at Wheeler High School for the Griffith Panthers against the number 8 Wheeler Bearcats. I'm Jack Field. We've got Doug Nelson with the color analysis. Big thank you for making us a part of your night. About 7 minutes ago until kickoff. Now, if you can see right on the track in front of us, they are celebrating the seniors for the Wheeler Bearcats. But with that being said, it's time for today's starting lineup, sponsored by Gladish Law Group. Gladish Law Group, they're here to help. Actions and not words. We'll start with that Wheeler offense. At left tackle, Landon Good. Left guard will be Blake Tichy. Center will be Vinny Metros. Right guard will be Mitch Kowalski. Right tackle will be Braden Olson. At receiver will be Connor Welch. Bryce Compton. Tyne Vedekekel. At quarterback, Caleb Klimzak. Your running back, Jaden Ortiz. And your H-back/tight end will be Xavier Harlovich. And those are your starting lineups for the offense of the Wheeler Bearcats. Now time for the Griffith defense. On the defensive line will be Alex Castillo, Hakeem Lang, DJ Bolian, and Logan Amenez. On your outside linebackers will be Ventris Hullett and Nolan Davenport. Inside linebacker, Moses Velez. Your secondaries will be Jason Dillon and Jakari Hawthorne. Your strong safety, Hunter Smith. Your free safety is Jackson Davenport. Now let's flip it over for the Griffith offense. At left tackle will be Stanley Lesko. At left guard will be Donald Bullion. At center will be Amir Abzur. At right guard, Dean Ellis. At right tackle, Javier Guerrero. Your receivers are Jason Quillian, Jason Dillon, and Sebastian Kusher. Your quarterback is Colton Strezzo. The tight end is Rosalio Cortez. And your running back is Jackson Lawson. Now time for the Wheeler defense. On that line will be Mitch Kokowski, Landon Good, Blake Tichy, Braden Olson. At linebacker will be Jaden Ortiz, Colton Kingery, Jackson Smith, and Xavier Harlovich. At secondary will be Keegan Cool and David Diaz. And at safety, it will be Tyne Vedekekel. And those are your Gladish Law Group starting lineups. Gladish Law Group continues to be recognized by U.S. News and World Report as a top law firm. Visit gladish.com for more information. So now about 4:20 to go as the Griffith Panthers are now making their way out on the field. It's been a weird night so far here in Wheeler. The rain's been on and off, and then a couple minutes before we went live, the whole stadium lights turned off. It was a pretty freaky. It is Friday the 13th, so I don't know if that's got any.
You brought it up, Jack.
I did bring it up. Good thing there's no such thing as a broadcaster's jinx, but, you know, I brought it up, and Griffith taking the field. Wheeler probably getting ready after the seniors were just celebrated. But a big game just because I think for Wheeler stance, obviously, you go into next week with that bye. So you know you're getting that week off. But an opportunity to have that outright title, the GSSC South, for the first time since 2015. You know, they started in last place, you know, and now here they are in first place, and an opportunity to do something they haven't done in about 8 years. And with a first-year head coach, that's something you don't see often. But also what you don't see often is the type of playmakers this Bearcat team has, because all night you're going to hear us talk about Klimzak, Compton, and Ortiz. You know, they are the three two-headed monster. Klimzak, third in the region in passing yards. Compton, second in the region in receiving yards. And Jaden Ortiz, 10th in the region in rushing yards. They are just all over the leaderboards.
Another guy that Coach Testa was high on was that Tyne Vetical.
Vetical, yeah.
He plays soccer also.
Okay.
So tomorrow he'll be playing in the postseason for,
all right.
for soccer. And good luck to the Bearcats there. But he was real high on Tyne Vetical. He's just a go guy and sophomore. First guy in the weight room, last guy to leave, that kind of thing. And he's, again, those are the kind of guys you build around.
Mm-hmm.
The guys that have really bought in. So, yeah, they have a ton of talent to work with in the skilled positions. The line guys are doing their jobs and giving their quarterbacks, a chance to move the football. So it takes all of it to work out.
Yeah, and these are two teams that really rely on a lot of their players to play two ways of the football. And for Wheeler, a lot of their guys are doing it at a very effective level. And one of the guys is Xavier Harlovich. On the year, he's a linebacker and a receiver. His receiving stats, well, those are pretty good. It's 20 catches, 174 yards, and 4 touchdowns. On defense, 2 tackles for loss, 5 interceptions, and 6 pass deflections. So you want to talk about doing on both sides of the ball. He's one of the guys. Another guy is Medical, who we just talked about. He has 4 interceptions this year as well. This is a hungry Bearcat defense, and you might be wondering if the lights went off. They might have a light show. I'm not 100% sure if they do that anymore. I heard
that would be impressive.
I heard about it, but the scoreboard is still on. They do have a hype video going on right now for the Bearcats, so I do believe that it is a little bit of a light show that our cameraman Scott Stessel is kind of focusing on. It's a little hard right now. The lights are off, but once those lights do turn on, it's going to be like one of those light shows that you see when a MLB closer comes in, when they walk away from the bullpen onto the mound.
Yeah.
You have the light show. That's the type of thing we're seeing a lot lately, and it looks like that might be the case here for Wheeler. Obviously, we're still waiting for that as the lights are off. But a big thank you to everybody tuning in to tonight's action. Game night built by Von Tobel, the Wheeler Bearcats, number 8 in our RSN top 10 rankings for the Griffith Panthers. Trying to get some momentum ahead of sectional play that starts next week. And for those Griffith Panthers, they are going to have to start their first sectional game. It's going to be against Rensselaer Central, and here are the light show that we were talking about, and the Wheeler Bearcats now make their way out on the field, and you can tell they are pumped for this game. For this Wheeler Bearcat team, and compared to years past, it seems like there's a little bit more mojo and confidence compared to past teams.
Well, like you said, there's a buzz in the air. There's an excitement there. That's a fun little light show. You don't see too many high schools with that.
No, you don't.
Being senior night.
Yep.
I talked about this last week, I think, and you're going to remember this night for the rest of your life, whether
Absolutely.
you win or lose. I mean, you really are. So you might as well win and go get that conference title and enjoy it the evening. And so there's a lot of motivation here tonight on both sides of the ball.
Well, we're about to get set here. Both teams now on their respective sidelines. You have the Wheeler Bearcats wearing their proud orange uniforms, white pants, and something you're going to see throughout the month, the pink socks and sometimes maybe some pink shoes in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So awesome to see. And, of course, for the Griffith Panthers wearing their white jerseys, they'll have and their gold pants. We're going to stay right here but mute ourselves for the national anthem. Beautiful performance right there by the Wheeler Band as the officials stand on that W in the middle of the field, set to get underway for kickoff. Two teams and a lot to play for. Last regular season matchup, as it's really, I can't believe that we're already talking about sectional play. Next week, sectional starts for a lot of these schools. Some of the bigger schools do have the week off. For Wheeler, they do have the week off because they got the luck of the draw. They got that bye. So they will have the week off, and for those Bearcats, they will have to play the winner of Bremen and Bishop Knoll. Bishop Knoll, they already defeated this year. So for the Wheeler Bearcats, team they haven't played and a team they've beat so far this year. But so they'll be watching that one next Friday night. Once again, they have a bye in the first round of sectionals, and they'll play the winner of Bremen and Bishop Knoll.
Yeah, both teams playing a pretty tough sectional. Griffith's in the, like you said, the open up Rensselaer, traditional powerhouse down there in the south. And, I think Griffith's with Hanover, and that's a very tough. I think they're number 2 in 3A right now. So, but Wheeler believes they have a shot. And when you got that bye and you get a week to rest and get better and watch some film and see your opponent play, there's different, philosophies as coaches. Some people want the bye, some people want to get in there and play and mix it up. But when you're winning, you want to get on the field as quickly as you can.
And for the Griffith Panthers, the weather is something we'll keep talking about. So if you get annoyed, well, that's just the case. It's going to be a rainy night.
We've been pretty lucky this year.
We have.
We were in LaPorte talking about that sweating. Just perspiring like a sweatshop. But
it has been a series of beautiful nights here in Northwest Indiana for high school football. So I guess you could say this one was due.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, so for Griffith, it's kind of been a one-dimensional offense with Jackson Lawson. We saw it last week against Calumet. They were up in that third quarter, but once they stopped Jackson Lawson, Calumet was able to come back and beat Griffith. Now, obviously, with the rain, that does favor you because he is one of the most prolific runners in the area. But when you're a team that's identity is run, and maybe pass the ball here and there, how do you switch things up to confuse the defense on the other side?
Well, I think they'll move Lawson around a little bit. You move him in the slot. You give him a little like jet looks, jet sweeps, dives, all that kind of thing. Again, this isn't Coach Mason's first rodeo. He's had good.
He's played in worse weather than this
and
one.
He's had good players in the past too. He's had studs. He's had to move around and varied looks. So again, both coaches just have a gold mine of resources here, and I'm sure you think about it too. He he had a nice job at Michigan City.
Yeah.
So he knew what he had here. He's got it's like a clay. Think of clay. You can form it. He can do it whatever he wants with the young talent he's got here. And what a fun project again for both of these guys.
And for Wheeler, this is a team that's identity is pass first with what we've seen over the years. So obviously we know Jay Ortiz is more than capable of running a football. But when your identity has been throwing the football so much this year, how do you change that to keep it in the game, but knowing that it's going to be affected with the weather?
Well, again, you got to control the controllables, right? You can't worry about the weather. It is a factor. It's going to be.
Well, here is the kickoff, and the Griffith Panthers are set to receive. It was a little bit of a squib kick, and still pushing their way. Look at that. A great start for the Griffith Panthers at their own 45-yard line. That is a Quintel kickoff. That kickoff and all kickoffs are all presented by Quintel Incorporated. Quintel Incorporated, handling jobs of all sizes throughout the country since 1994. So we'll see the Panthers up first. We talked about it all pregame show. Jackson Lawson is going to be the guy. Now, Colton Strezzo does have that ability to be a dual-threat quarterback. He can throw it, he can run it. The question is, can he have a consistent game that leads to a victory? But for Jackson Lawson, over 1,000 rushing yards, third in the region, 19 touchdowns, which is second in the region. He averages 6.5 yards per carry. If you do your math, that's 2 runs and a first down for him. So we'll see right here, 45-yard line of their own. And just like that, a handoff to Lawson, and he's tackled quickly but able to power his way for about 3 yards on the first handoff. And that is something you're going to see a lot of tonight.
Well, again, I'm watching the transition between the center and the quarterback. It was kind of sloppy. That's big on timing, right? That's going to mess up the timing. He kind of fumbled the ball when he received it, which made the running back kind of run into him a little bit. But, if he gets 2 or 3 yards, like you said, every down, why do anything different?
And there's another high snap. Strezzo able to get it back, and he is met in the backfield nowhere to go on that play. I believe that's Xavier Harlovich on the tackle and 2 high snaps. The first one they got lucky with the 2-yard run.
Yeah.
And like that one, that's a huge sack, and it's now 3rd down.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a factor for both teams this evening. And, you know, here's me. I played 1 year of 8th grade football, right? But
Okay.
why don't you get under the center? You know,
Yeah.
why don't you get
And
under
that
the center?
might something Phil Mason might be saying after this drive, because it's 3rd and 19 already.
Right.
And they're all the way back at the 37-yard line. They started at that 45. There's a snap. The quarterback's going to keep it. Srezzo able to power his way. Gets some of those yards back, but not enough. It's going to probably be a 4th down punt for Griffith. Just trying to get some of those yards, making a manageable punt, and try to pin Wheeler back in their own territory.
Yeah, this could be a field goal or field position game all night. And, again, that was a pretty conservative play. You know, Srezzo kept the ball, but I think this is going to come down to that all evening. It's going to be about field position.
Our operations manager, Rich Castillo, asked me before I left our studio today, as there's a punt, what do you think the score is going to be? I said I would not be surprised if that one's in the end zone. It's going to be a touchback. I told him I would not be surprised if we have one of those 7-6 ball games or something like that. This just seems one of those games where it's ground and pound. You're really going to have to grind it out. But now here comes the Wheeler offense. High-powered they have been in their 5-game win streak. We talked about it. They're averaging about 40 points per game. And it starts with their quarterback, Caleb Klimzak, the receiver, Bryce Compton, and the running back, Jaden Ortiz. On that 5-game winning streak stretch, they have 2 shutout wins. So the defense able to do well on that first drive. We'll see how this offense responds. You have 2 receivers on the near sideline, 1 on that far. You have 2 running backs next to Klimzak. And Klimzak with it, he is going to drop back right up the middle. There's incomplete. Oh, that was his guy, Bryce Compton, right there in the kind of a post route right there. He had him wide open, and there's that ring.
Yeah, but it was a good ball. I was thinking before that snap, my first play would have been a play action and go over the top. Tell him right now, we're going to throw the football. You better guard the whole field.
Well, that is what is really good about Wheeler's offense is if you're able to establish that run game very early on, that sets up those one-on-one opportunities for a guy like Bryce Compton. And you can see on the screen there are some one-on-one opportunities, but there's a handoff to Ortiz up the middle, nowhere to go. Griffith did a good job going right to the ball, about 2 yards on that gain. It's going to be a 3rd down for the Bearcats. But that's a good point. I mean, that play-action play, you're not expecting a team to really air the ball out tonight. You know, maybe 10, 15 air yards, but that's really it. You're not expecting any team to really throw it deep down the field like you usually would see on a perfect night. But now it's 3rd and 5 on their 10 minutes ago. And for Wheeler, maybe a pass right here. Compton, he was open on that play. I wouldn't be surprised if they maybe run that same exact play.
Right, and you can see they have 1 safety back here. Jackson Davenport, and they're challenging him. They're daring him to throw the ball.
And there's a pass and caught right there. That's tying Betticole right there, and it's I believe that is going to be a 1st down for the Bearcats right at that line. It's a Four Seasons Mechanical 1st down. Your Northwest Indiana heating and air conditioning specialist. Visit them on the web at fourseasonsmechanical.com. So a crucial 3rd down conversion. Obviously, you talk about Bryce Compton, you're going to forget a guy like Ty Betticole because he is good. 17 catches, 396 yards, and 4 touchdowns.
A lot of kids, no matter what grade, would be very happy with that as a season.
Well, there's Jaden Ortiz. He went to the outside, cut back to the inside. Nowhere to go on that play. 2 yards on the carry. So a couple of runs, minimal, but we've seen 2 passes. One of them was wide open and dropped, and the second one was a 3rd down conversion.
Well, I'll tell you what, and Nathan here on our scoreboard is he played a lot of baseball on this turf. When this is wet, this might be as slick or more than mud. Mm-hmm. You know, it is hard to turn up and plant that foot and cut up to get north-south. But, a lot of it's going to have to be it's going to be hard to turn that corner. It's slick. This turf is slick.
8:10 to go here in the first. Klimzak hands it off to his running back, Ortiz. Breaks a tackle and powers his way just in front of that 40-yard line. Looks to be about their own 39-yard line on the carry. So we've seen more runs than passes so far here in the early going. But this is a Wheeler offense, like we said. There's weapons all over the place. It's not one-dimensional. If you're going to stop Compton, well, they have Ortiz. If you're going to stop Ortiz, well, like we said, Klimzak has Ty Venical as one of his other guys. You know, Connor Welch, a freshman, is another guy having an impressive year, 2 touchdowns.
Right.
So you got to pick your poison. 3rd and 4 now.
Again, I think they're going to have more success running it right up the gut as opposed to outside.
Well, there's another run. That one is right up the gut, and I don't think he got it. He looks to be short on that carry.
By a couple yards.
It's going to be a 4th and very short. We'll see if they punt here. I mean, this is an aggressive Wheeler offense. We do have a player limping off the field a little bit.
They need another guy on the field right now.
Hope to be okay on that one. So there you go, another man on the field. So 4th and 2, this does look like a formation that you would go for it. Klimzak usually is the punter for the team as well, so maybe they could make a late decision here. And a couple of movement right here by
line jump.
There we go.
That's going to help the decision of the coach. Maybe he will punt now.
They were in motion, and there was some movement on the line, and that one hurt them. It's going to be a false start, so instead of 4th and 2, it's 4th and 7 now with 6:48 to go here. And here you go. You got a couple of changes here, and I believe you predicted it just like that. Yep, a punt here for the Bearcats. They had that 4th down yardage where you would usually go for it, but now you're a little too far back, and if you wouldn't get this, you're letting Griffith start in your field territory. It's kind of, you mentioned it.
It's about field position tonight.
There's the snap. There's the punt. It's high, but not really that far. It takes a Griffith bounce. And wow, rolls into Wheeler territory.
Like Nathan's pitching wedge there.
And able to jump on that one at the 41-yard line of the Wheeler Bearcats. So great starting field position for Griffith. We saw that in the first drive on that kickoff return. They were able to start at about their own 45-yard line. Obviously, things didn't go well for them. They went 3 and out and had the punt on that first drive. But here on the second drive, you mentioned it, maybe playing right behind the center. Here on the first play, he's not playing right up on him. We'll see if that high snap continues.
He's in the pistol, but
better snap, though. And Lawson gets the handoff, and he is met in the backfield. Nowhere to go. A couple of Bearcats on the tackle, and one of them, it looked to be Keegan Cool, one of the secondary. It looked like a blitz. And
again, they're going to key on him all night long.
Yeah.
But if you're Coach Mason, I would continue to give him the football. And like you said earlier, it's going to set up the play-action pass down the road. But he's got to use his size and just get a few yards. I think he's one of the bigger guys on the field of any position. So he's got to use that and just get a few yards. Not every yard is going to be a 50 yards to the house.
Yep, 2nd and 2. There's a pass right there. And a broken tackle on that far sideline. Might have gotten that first down. Looks like just to be short, but the first pass by Colton Strezzo is a completion, and for about 11 yards.
Nice little swing pass to the flat there. That was a good move. About 3rd and short, maybe 3rd and about almost 1.
Yeah, 3rd and 1. They're going to mark it officially in Wheeler territory. Could assume the handoff of Lawson right here. Strezzo with it, hand off to Lawson, up the middle, and breaks a couple of tackles, and taken down at the 20-yard line. A first down, a Four Seasons Mechanical first down for the Griffith Panthers, and that's the Jackson Lawson we've been talking about all game.
He needs to get downhill, get his pads low, and just get what he can. The stuff, like I said, the stuff outside the hashes it's not going to be there tonight. It's just too slick. It's hard to make that cut.
Yeah.
It's just simple as that.
It takes more than one person to tackle him, and he has that burst of speed where once he makes that cut, he's off. And
he's got that forward lean. He gets his pads low, and like you said, the first guy doesn't normally bring him down.
So first down, hand off to Lawson. Lawson up the middle. Nowhere to go, but trying to gain some more yards. He is still up, pushing with his legs. Definitely gained 2 extra yards on that effort. 5-yard gain for the junior running back under 5 minutes to go here in the first quarter. We're tied here at 0 for the Griffith Panthers. They went 3 and out in their first drive. For the Wheeler Bearcats, they converted a 3rd down on their first drive, but since then, the Panthers have been driving down the field. They did start with great field position. And Strezzo hands it off to Lawson. Man, is he met.
Yep.
Man, the line just blew up right there. The Bearcats were all over that play.
Something else, Jack, I've been thinking about, and Nate, you might help us out. how much do you think the input, like the quarter, do you think they can check down?
It's
or is it run coach's play? Can you see
it,
the blitz coming and say, hey, coach, hot, hot, hot?
I think it really just depends the age level and the experience of your quarterback. This is, like we said, a young Griffith team, and maybe not this year, but next year they'll be able to do those types of things. So 3rd and 9 now, under 4 minutes to go. You had Landon Good, one of the guys on that. Strezzo is going to keep it. He goes to his left, breaks a tackle, and takes it himself. He's going to run this one. He's taken down at about the 13-yard line. Not enough for the first down, but a good job by the quarterback to turn nothing into something.
That's a good job. Again, that's the playmaking ability
of
Strezzo, and great decision not to force anything. He felt, that clock's got to be ticking in your head. I only have so much time in the pocket here, so that was a great decision by the young man. 4th down here.
4th and 3. Definitely that distance where you're very comfortable going for it. Strezzo, Lawson to his right. Man in motion. Strezzo, he's going to keep it himself. Go to his left. He's got a lane and some more. And in the end zone for the first touchdown of the game, the Griffith Panthers, a QB keeper. Kelton Strezzo for his 2nd rushing touchdown of the season.
That's the double-edged sword they got going in the backfield. That's going to be tough for them to beat in the postseason. That's a nice tool to have as you're progressing through toward Indy.
And what makes that play so effective is you're so focused on A, the man in motion, but B, Jackson Lawson getting that football.
Yeah, you have to key on him.
And you leave all of that room like they did for Colton Strezzo, a quarterback very capable of running the football. And actually, we're going to go for 2 here as well for the Panthers. So Griffith, another man in motion, but there is a flag. Might have had some movement at the line. It actually looks like it's going to be an offside call on the Bearcats, so they get an extra yard here on this 2-point conversion. And with those field conditions, obviously kicking might not be your first option tonight, no matter what the score is or whatever the case may be. You might just have to go for 2 or go for 4th downs more than you would have liked. So 6-0 with 3:20 in the first quarter. Griffith with the first points on the board. So man in motion, they just switch sides right there. Strezzo hands it off to Lawson. Lawson up the middle, right at the line.
Short.
He does look short. He did not get it. The officials call him short. A good job by that Bearcats defense to hold him at that 1-yard line after that offsides penalty, but not before the Griffith Panthers score the first touchdown of the game from the legs of Colton Strezzo. We'll take a 30-second break and be right back as you're watching Game Night in the Region, built by Von Tobel here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Some see a student athlete working on a shot. We see a powerful lesson in persistence. Some see a student preparing for success on an exam. We see a student athlete preparing for success in life. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
Griffith leads 6-0. Here is the Quintel kickoff caught, and here is the return by the Bearcats. A move to his right and brought down at the 30-yard line. That kickoff and all kickoffs are presented by Quintel Incorporated. So let's see how Wheeler responds right here. Obviously, this Wheeler defense on this 5-game win streak has been on fire. They've only allowed 10 points average per game, and an early touchdown by the Panthers. And on this 5-game win streak, Wheeler's never really been trailing. They've always been ahead. And that first drive for the Bearcats, there was some promise. They did have a 3rd down conversion, but other than that, the run game was stalled by the impressive effort by the line of the Griffith Panthers. And here we might see a heavy dose of passing, especially to Bryce Compton. A little bit of some pressure by that defense. Hand off to Jaden Ortiz. Ortiz makes a cut. trying to push, but there are more Panthers than Bearcats, and brings them down about a 1-yard gain on the first down carry with about 3 minutes to go here in the first quarter. A big thank you to everybody tuning in to our game night built by Von Tobel, Jack Thiel, and Doug Nelson. Got Nate Ramian on producing and Scott Stessel on the camera. Also a big thank you to Justin Cole helping us back in the studio. 2nd and 9 for the Bearcats. And Doug, the run game, it's only picking up 1 or 2 yards per carry. It seems like they're going to have to find that passing game.
Yeah, again, Griffith's really challenging them. They're bringing their safeties up. They're going to make you throw the ball over the top.
Well, here we go. Klimczak, he's got a one-on-one throw to his receiver, Compton, but
off.
it's picked off. What an effort right there. Jackson Lawson, the running back, either trying to discuss this one.
There's no confusion here. That was an interception.
Yeah, it looks like one of the coaches, though, for Wheeler, is trying to plead the case for whatever it might be. But nevertheless, that's a pick. And Jackson Lawson, the star running back, we might have to start calling him the star secondary the way he's playing. Both ways on the football. We talked about that in the pregame.
Right.
And Jackson Lawson right there with the interception.
Little Iron Man football playing both sides, right? They sleep well tonight and enjoyed the ice bath. But that's one of those plays that that normally the quarterback would throw it a little farther, let the receiver go. But like you said, the ball's slick and kind of wobbled out there, especially this wind. The wind's a factor as well.
Yeah, that ball really died once it went in the air. That's the 4th interception thrown by Klimczak this year. So the Griffith Panthers, after scoring the first touchdown of the game, they forced the first turnover of the game. And we'll see how they respond. This is a huge opportunity for them to jump into a large lead. I mean, still, you want as big as a lead as you can get if this rain is going to be persistent throughout the night. So 2:32 now, and a flag right here. There's 45-yard line.
Maybe.
It looks like that is a delay of game. So, as I say, the 45-yard line, they'll move back to their own 40-yard line for the Griffith Panthers. But you had to like what you saw from them just because we talked about what are you going to do outside of Jackson Lawson. A lot of movement from a lot of their receivers, and the quarterback was able to do it with his legs.
Yeah, Strezzo is going to be a factor all evening.
And Strezzo, the quarterback, was in motion, but it's a kind of a wildcat right there kept. It looked like that was Davenport on the carry. It was a weird formation. You had the quarterback, Strezzo, in formation on a wildcat play.
Yeah, and then you had Strezzo in motion over there. So they might set something up later on.
That's something
maybe a double pass kind of thing.
That's something you don't see often where the quarterback is in motion on a run. I mean, maybe the Philly special back years ago in the Super Bowl, but I mean, those quarterbacks never had the wheels like Strezzo has.
Doing it again.
And here they're doing it again, a little bit of a wildcat, and they're going to hand it off to Lawson. Lawson, who just got the interception, trying to push, but nowhere to go. Man, everybody on the field in that pile, about a yard gain for the running back. Is going to be 3rd down now for the Panthers, but 2 straight plays where we've seen that wildcat formation. I'm not sure if it's because of the snap problems here early in the first quarter or just trying to throw off this Bearcats defense.
Well, again, at this point of the year, Griffith doesn't have anything much to play for as far as this evening wins and losses. But they're working on things right now that maybe they'll use in a couple of weeks, or next week against Rensselaer, and just try it out and see how it looks.
3rd and 11 now, 1:20 counting to go, and Strezzo now the quarterback in formation. A pass to Lawson. Lawson on the near sideline to his left, past the 50-yard line. And he's going to be pushed out at about the 47. So not a first down for the Panthers.
But it is 4th and manageable.
Yep, and that might have been why they called that play.
Yeah.
Nothing to really get you the first down, but maybe a couple of blocks you could. But this isn't, like you said, 4th and 4 now. A huge 7-yard pass gives you an opportunity to go for it. And now you're on the Wheeler side of the field.
Well, they're back to punt.
Yeah, it looks like,
again, you're going to pin it back all night.
You talked
do
about
a little
field,
directional punt here.
And maybe Phil Mason, when he saw that pass thrown by Klimczak and saw how much it died in the air, he said, okay, we'll just pin you back. As that one bounces at about the 25, it's going to roll right on the 20-yard line. So a decent punt right there for the Griffith Panthers. But, I mean, you talked about it, Doug. It's going to be field position. And when you saw that pass, I think Phil Mason, a light bulb lit up, and he said they're going to have to run the ball.
Yep.
So if they want to run it all the time at their own 20-yard line, so be it. That's going to take 7-8 minutes to do. And I think you're going to see that a lot from Griffith. Now, they have the lead. They are playing with the lead, so you might see some plays like that where, 4th and 4, 4th and 3, maybe Wheeler, if they were the team, they would go for it. But for Griffith, if they see that opportunity to pin them back and really make them drive all the way down the field, they're going to make you do that.
Yeah, again, we'll see if Wheeler can move the ball down the field, but, emphasizing the passing game. But again, Griffith's going to challenge them all night to throw the football long.
Here we go, the first play. It's a handoff to Ortiz. Ortiz, a stiff arm, breaks a tackle down the sideline, and still on the sideline. Toe tapping and able to stay inside, and a nice first down run for the junior running back, pushed out of bounds at about the 42-yard line. That's a Four Seasons Mechanical first down in Maryville for Wheeler. We talked about that running game being stalled early on with under a minute to go, and finally they get a big break right there.
Yeah, it was a nice runner on the outside there by Ortiz. The line did a great job. He did a good job of staying in bounds. I thought he stepped out of bounds here about 10 yards back, but nice job by the young man to tiptoe down the sideline.
Yeah, absolutely. So first down. See how hesitant they are to throw the ball. Here's the pressure by the Panthers. It is a handoff right there, but nowhere to go. Wheeler trying to find new ways to move the football. But for Griffith, I think one play for their defense, it's blitz. That's all they're going to do. It's going to be blitz, blitz, blitz.
Yeah, blitz the gaps.
And if they want to do those one-on-one, plays on the outside, I mean, we saw what happened last time. It was a pick for Griffith. So they're going to challenge you to do those types of plays.
And it looks like they're kind of going into the wind right now.
Yeah.
You can see the rain kind of slaying away the flags at half mast, but it's blowing east to west.
20 seconds to go now here in the first quarter. Wheeler 2nd and 9 on their own 43-yard line. And Klimzak keeps it. Pass Compton and another drop. Compton again on that slant play. It was like the first one.
He's gone with gloves and without the gloves.
It was kind of like that first play we saw from Wheeler. That slant pass to Compton. He beat his defender.
Right.
Just can't make the grab. 10 seconds to go. It's 3rd and 9.
If he catches it, he's gone. The safety's up taking away the run. If he catches it, he's going all the way.
That is the thing. I mean, for Compton, maybe you're looking ahead too much right there. You know if you catch the ball, you're gone, but you have to make sure you catch the ball. 3rd and 9. Here's a pass play. Throws it up and over the intended receiver's head, and it's going to be a 4th down for the Bearcats with 6 seconds to go. Venical was the intended receiver.
Yeah.
And another tough possession for Wheeler.
Yeah, Wheeler doesn't want to have to get in 3rd and long where they're behind the chains a little bit. They want to be in the downs where they can still run the football. But the rain is coming down in sheets.
Well,
that's just tough to do right now.
You mentioned the wind, and I find this interesting. If they were able to punt the ball in the second quarter, it might have gone a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
But now they have to punt the ball in the wind before we switch sides on the field.
Well, we saw that before with the backspin. It was like 10-yard punt.
Well, let's see the punt here. That one's up. It's a good punt, but that's the wind taking it back right there. But it does take a Wheeler bounce, and they'll pick that one up at about the 19-yard line, and that is also going to be the conclusion of the first quarter. It's been low scoring. The only touchdown was the quarterback Colton Strezzo for the Griffith Panthers. We'll take a 1-minute break, and we'll be right back as you're watching our game night built by Von Tobel here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
From schools to stadiums, hospitals and bridges, everywhere you look, union carpenters are building Indiana. With jobs and skilled trades in high demand, there's never been a better time to start building your future. As an apprentice, you'll earn a debt-free college degree, earn while you learn, and receive great benefits like healthcare and retirement. So what are you waiting for? Visit carpenters.com to learn more. Visit carpenters.com and start building your future today.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
It's weird if you look at the lights. It looks like it's really coming down, but you look like right here, you can't really see it.
Welcome back as Von Tobel presents Game Night in the Region right here on the Region Sports Network. Von Tobel, building better together. Your local building material supplier and design center. Visit vontobel.com to find out more. Here in the first quarter, the Griffith Panthers lead 6-0. Big thank you to everybody tuning in. Jack Thiel. And alongside me is Doug Nelson, Nate Ramian producing, and Justin Cole. And we got Scott Stessel on today's camera. Don't worry, Scott's inside. He's not getting wet. He is surviving the night so far, but a great job by him. The Griffith Panthers now with the football on their own side of the field at about the 30-yard line. We'll see how that change of direction affects both teams. We talked about it, how Griffith, as here's the handoff, and there's Jackson Lawson, makes a move to his left. It's going to be a first down for Jackson Lawson. He was able to break a couple of tackles and maneuver his way all the way towards that 45-yard line. So that's a four-season mechanical first down. And this is where Jackson Lawson can get very dangerous just because you got to focus on Strezzo. We've seen the Wildcat a couple of times, a lot of guys in motion. And when you focus on those types of things, there comes Lawson right out of the backfield.
When he's moving downhill and he hit that off tackle there and then bounce it outside. But his line is doing a great job, and he's tough to stop when he's starting downhill.
Well, there's another handoff. He bounces to the right, and he is dragged down. There is a flag on the play and another flag all the way where the secondary were. So two flags here. I don't know if they're going to be the same thing, but a flag was thrown right when Lawson was dragged to the ground.
Good toss by the back judge. That was about 30-yard pass. Good work. Got the wind.
It's the
He's
wind.
got the wind
It's the wind.
Wind dated.
It's the wind right there. As you
see
can
the uniforms whipping around.
I was going to say the officials' uniforms, I mean, is a heavy rain, a heavy wind. I mean, you got the tent right here for Wheeler. It's surviving.
It's surviving. You see the weather, the rain is really taking effect on the east side of the tent. Somebody needs to come under there and just pop the water out.
So it looks like Griffith, two penalties on Griffith. One of them is going to be declined, and the second one's going to be accepted. The holding looks to be accepted. So a holding call on the Griffith Panthers that will back them up 10 yards.
Yeah, both teams do not want to get behind the sticks tonight.
Yeah.
You don't want first and long, second and long. You want to continue to move the change, make it manageable distances. You don't want to be in position where you have to throw the football.
Well, as we keep thinking, maybe things are going to get a little lighter in terms of rain. It comes down even heavier because this is probably the heaviest it's been all night as the game started at 7 o'clock here.
Right.
So 11:26 and counting. 1st and 20 now. Strezzo hands it off to his running back Lawson, and once again met the Bearcats blow up the line. You had a couple of them right there on the tackle. Looks like maybe one of the guys was Xavier Harlovich, the linebacker, who's been one impressive player throughout the year. 89 tackles. Well, I guess now you can make that 90, which is 6 in the region. So that's going to now be 2nd and 23. Griffith is really pinned back, and we talked about how the wind affected Wheeler in that first quarter. Now here in the second, it could affect Griffith because they are deep. And there's a handoff. Lawson bounces to his left, able to go past a couple of defenders, but once again, he has nowhere to go. And I think Wheeler is kind of understanding the Griffith offense a little bit, and especially Jackson Lawson.
Yeah, he did a great job of setting the edge over there on the far side. Number 3, he's like Keegan Cool. Great job of setting the edge and sending Jackson back to inside. So, again, 3rd and long.
Third
what
and
do you
24.
do? I mean, you're playing, again, you're playing pretty conservative. You don't want to do anything silly here and give the ball up here.
And we know the wind, too.
Yeah, the wind is there. But
it's going to be a run, but you want to get some yards because that punt is going to be hard, and there's a flag, and Doug Nelson, the man who knows it all, calls it right there, a false start. So now it's 3rd and 29.
I don't know it all, Jack. But I'm pretty good at Madden. Me and Nate had some pretty good battles. And
all right, there you go.
Kale's our younger son. He's one that beats all of us, but that's why we don't play anymore. But, you know. No, but the guy jumped. That's pretty easy.
Yeah, 3rd and 29. I mean, it seems
not
like
too many plays in the playbook on a nice day for 3rd and 29, Jack.
Now imagine it on a rainy day for the Griffith Panthers. So 3rd and 29, a handoff to Lawson. Lawson up the middle, about 2 yards on that carry. That's going to be it, and it's going to be a 4th down, and expect a punt. I guess the real question is, how's this punt going to look? Because now you're going into the wind, and it seems like that wind is picking up more and more.
You see more and more teams do the rugby style. I think the rugby style punt is really good for this turf. back in the day with the mud and the rain, it wouldn't.
Yeah.
It would stick. So now it's going to get a little skip here.
Oh,
possibly.
Kind of a little bit of a rugby punt, low and a line drive and a huge bounce. That's going to go out of bounds at about the 38-yard line of the Bearcats. So Wheeler will start on their own side of the field.
Could have been worse.
It could have been worse. I think that's going to be more of the angle you take is those low line drive punts, because anything that's about 10 yards in the air, that thing's getting knocked down. So something we will have to keep our eye on throughout the night and see if teams try to kind of make those adjustments on those punts and pass plays.
Yeah. Strike and Van Til, real quick scoreboard update. Boone Grove is up 7-0 on Bishop Knoll. Crown Point's up on Michigan City 7-0. Hanover Central was up on Hammond Central 7-0.
Two undefeated teams trying to keep their undefeated season alive.
Yeah, when the weather like this, you got factors that gives the underdog a chance.
Yeah, there's a handoff. Ortiz up the middle and through at the 30-yard line, down the sideline, 20, 10, 5, and a touchdown. The lights go on and off, and Jaden Ortiz breaks away for the first Wheeler touchdown of the night. Number 10 on the year for the junior. And
fast,
did he fly right down that sideline looking like Flash. And Wheeler a chance here to take the lead. Just what the Bearcats needed. The offense was stagnant, not much going for them, but one play can change that, and that's what happened. They're going to try to kick this one here, actually. And an interesting stat, Ty Venacold, their kicker, has not mixed an extra point. He's 28 of 28. The one is up. That one is good.
Well, he's got a leg on him.
29 for 29 on the year. I hear the broadcasters jinx. Nope.
You tried. You tried.
Well, 29 for 29 now. And, talk about that run for Wheeler, just because that's what you needed.
Man, he hit the hole hard, and he was gone. He ran away from people. That was pretty impressive. Jaden Ortiz.
So Wheeler just takes the lead just like that, 7-6 with 9:05 to go. You're just naming those scores, of course. You can follow all tonight's region football scores live on the Strack Van Til Hometown Scoreboard, streaming live on Facebook.com/RegionSports, YouTube.com/RegionSports, and RegionSports.com.
Langle's Pizza has been a favorite spot since 1979. Enjoy pizza, sandwiches, and more. Dine in or carry out. Langle's serves Northwest Indiana from their 3 locations, Highland, Schererville, and Crown Point. Order online at langospizza.com. Lango's Pizza, the official pizza of the Region Sports. You messed him up, my read. Man.
Oh, man, that's my bad.
Jack,
well, I was just going to say.
I was rolling right there.
You and Jay and Ortiz are both rolling right there. Smooth. But for more scores on that Strack Van Til Hometown Scoreboard, as there's a kickoff right there, a Quintel Incorporated kickoff taken and returned by Griffith. He'll be tackled at the 30-yard line, as that is a Quintel Incorporated quick kickoffs. That kickoff and all kickoffs are brought to you by Quintel Incorporated. We'll have some more Strack Van Til Hometown Scoreboard updates for you. The Boone Grove Wolves, playing in their brand new $10 million stadium, are winning 15-0. Gary Westsider, number 18, is winning Calumet 8-0. LaPorte is defeating Portage 6-0.
Uh-oh.
And those are some of the other scores that we have so far. Once again, you can view those on our hometown scoreboard, courtesy of our friends from Strack and Van Til. Griffith now trailing by 1. The rain continues.
You've got to be a
here.
committed fan to be in the bleachers tonight.
Yeah,
you're like a family member or a friend.
Well, there's Lawson trying to make nothing out of something. He's able to get a couple of yards, but it's only 3-4 yards. But how it looked when the play started, it looked like it might have been -4, but able to get a positive of 4.
Again, that was a good job to get something out of nothing. And we've talked about it. You want to remain in the sticks. You don't want to get in a position where you have to throw the football. Yeah. Both teams are loading up the box and getting really defending the run. Mm-hmm. Somebody's, again, it's going to come down to those big plays.
Yeah, under 9.
See who can bust them.
Yep, under 9 minutes to go, but stay tuned for the Hose Connections halftime show here at Wheeler High School, our game night built by Von Tobel. I believe we're also going to be live from our studio for the Hose Connections halftime report. So
warm and dry in the studio.
Watch it in the studio or watch it live from here at Wheeler High School. 2nd and 8 now, a handoff to Lawson. Lawson nowhere to go. And the Wheeler line is really making a difference. Ever since that touchdown by Colton Strezzo, Wheeler has really made it I mean, a requirement that Jackson Lawson will not get more than 4 yards on us.
Well, he's gonna get his.
Yeah.
You know, he's close to 1,000 yards here on the year, but Griffith at some point is going to have to put the ball in the air.
Yeah. And that's the thing that we talked about. What can they do outside of Jackson Lawson? I mean, Jason Quillian is probably their best receiver, the freshman, 13 catches for 148 receiving yards. 3rd and 11 now, hand off to Lawson. Lawson able to get 3 yards, but he's pushed back a little bit at the end of that play. I believe you had Jaden Ortiz, the guy who just had that huge rushing touchdown, one of the guys on the tackle, including Jackson Smith, the senior linebacker, who's 3rd in the region in tackles. So now 4th and 9 for Griffith. They'll be set to punt here. 7 minutes and counting in the second quarter. Wheeler leads 7-6, trying to continue their win streak at 5 games right now. A win tonight would make it 6. They have a first-round bye in sectionals, a low snap and a high punt, and that one will die down in the wind. And another Griffith bounce. That one's going to roll to about the 32-yard line. So another good bounce for the Griffith punter, as both teams will go to their sidelines. And we're going to take a 30-second break as you're watching Game Night in the Region, built by Von Tobel here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Growing up in Northwest Indiana, I am proud that my family's been doing business here for nearly 100 years, which started with my grandfather, John Gladish. Over my career, I've witnessed families being torn apart by the negligence of others, and everything from unguarded openings at construction sites to reckless driving on our roads. Our experienced attorneys, paralegals, and staff know that insurance companies and their lawyers will go to great lengths to avoid paying compensation. Do not waste your one and only opportunity to seek fair compensation for your loss. Give the Gladish Law Group a call and put our team to work for you.
Spin move.
Back here in a huge first down run by Jaden Ortiz, able to cross the 50-yard line on that play. You know, a lot of guys miss on that play. It's a Four Seasons mechanical first down. And, you know, we talked about Jaden Ortiz not really able to much running room in that first quarter. Well, here in the second, that's all he's had, a lot of running room, as Wheeler is now on the Griffith 48-yard line. Klimzak hands it off to Ortiz. Ortiz up the middle and taken down. That's going to be about the 44-yard line. So second down for Wheeler. We haven't really seen Klimzak throw the ball since that interception, and I think with the way Jaden Ortiz has been running the ball, middle of that first quarter, here now in the second, you're going to really rely on that. And if you have to really throw the football, I think they're comfortable with that as well. But it's going to be probably the Jaden Ortiz show with how this weather is looking still.
Sure, and why not?
Yep.
You know, he's moving the football 4 or 5 yards a pop, and the offensive line for Wheeler is really doing a great job for the running back. So the clock's rolling, and you're winning. You know, keep the ball on the ground and keep the clock rolling.
2nd and 6. And a low snap right there, able to fall on it. Good job. Looks like that was the quarterback able to fall on it and keep the possession with Wheeler. That's something we're seeing. Snaps have not been 100% the way the teams wanted. We've seen high snaps for Griffith, and then that was a low snap for Wheeler.
Yeah, we're also having a tent malfunction down here.
We are having the tent malfunction.
They did not get the water out of the tent there it goes. There it goes. We got to maintain that. Those aren't cheap, Jack.
They are not.
So, no, those are a necessity here anymore. Keep you out of the weather.
Under 5 minutes ago, 3rd and 13 for Wheeler. Klimzak's going to drop back. A deep pass up the middle and off the hands. He had a lot of room if he made that catch. Ty Vetical was the man intended for the Bearcats just through the outreach.
Right through his hands.
It's going to be a 4th down and probably a punt for Wheeler.
Again, that's the Griffith. That's the challenge or the gamble that Griffith's willing to make right there.
Yeah.
We've seen a few go through his hands. You know, again, that he catches that, he's gone. But that's the dice. He's rolling the dice, and it's working so far.
You mentioned establishing that run game and trying to do those play-action passes. That's kind of what we saw there. They established that run very well, and they had that one-on-one they wanted. I mean, if Venical makes that grab, that's a touchdown, and there's a low snap. Punter able to grab that one and get it off. Wow, impressive job by him, and that takes a bounce down the sideline and appears to go out of bounds at about the 20-yard line.
Well, directional kick. Great job by the kicker to stay composed. You know, he could have easily
those are
panicked.
hard, especially
I would panic with a guy running at me, and I still have to kick the ball.
Especially on a night like tonight
Yeah.
with the rain and everything, for you to stay composed and just focus on grabbing the football and getting that kickoff. Job well done. So
Those are the details. You know what I mean? You know
Those
what
are
I'm
the
saying?
small things. You know, maybe not on the scoreboard, but when you watch the tape on Monday morning and whatever the game film, and you see that, you know, you might say, well, that pinned Griffith back and they weren't able to score. But they do have 4:34. What do you want to see from Griffith on this drive? Because the offense has been stagnant since that touchdown.
I think you have to find somebody else to move the ball. I mean, I know Jackson, he can move the football. He's doing a great job, again, close to 1,000 yards on the year. But in order for them to compete here tonight and the postseason, they're going to have to find someone else.
Well, first play off the Lawson in a huge pile. They're really pushing this one. Lawson's still on his feet. It's only going to be about 4 yards. They blow the whistle, and
again, that's what happens. And Wheeler comes up with the footballs. If you don't blow the whistle, somebody's going to get hurt.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on in those piles.
Everyone on the field was involved in that pile.
That was a scrum.
Yeah, everyone seems to be okay. A couple substitutions right now for Griffith.
Again, it's interesting, too, at this point. There's 4 minutes left. Is Coach Mason going to be content with just moving the ball? Let's get in the locker room.
Yeah.
It's halftime. We're only down 1 point. We're down 1 possession. Let's get the wind here going in our way. But we'll see. We'll see what happens here. A lot will do.
2nd and 7.
Decide on these plays, yeah.
Lawson in motion. They're going to not hand it off the motion. The man in the Wildcat formation kept it himself. Got tripped up, about a 2-yard gain on the play. 3rd and 5 with 3:30 and counting. And if you're Wheeler, you could use a timeout here maybe. Save some time for you.
Good point. Maybe after this play, they'll just,
because you're punting in the wind.
Yeah.
So Wheeler does have that opportunity to have great starting position, and that would really just help them put some more points on the board. And what is probably going to be a low-scoring game. It's going to be probably who has the ball last at this point.
Yeah. Another thing is mentioned. Strezzo hasn't been on the field very much.
No, he hasn't. It is 3rd and 5 with 3 minutes and counting. And there's a handoff right up the middle, trying to make some men miss, and nowhere to go on that one. The Wheeler defense is all over this Griffith run, and another play where Colton Strezzo wasn't being hiked the football. He was I believe he was positioned as one of the receivers.
Yeah.
Something we've been seeing throughout the night. I don't know if it's because of the snaps we saw on those first couple of drives, but that is something to speculate with 2:30 and counting, no timeouts called.
It's 4th and 1 here.
It is 4th and 1, a huge gamble.
A long one.
I guess if you're Phil Mason and Griffith, you think if you get this 4th down, you're going to run the clock out and run into halftime.
How about you run it down and then maybe try to draw them off sides, do a hard count?
Maybe that's what we'll see right here. I mean, there's 2:18. There's 5 seconds left on the play clock, so don't want to get a delay of game, too.
There you go. You just called
there's
a
one,
timeout.
and there's a timeout. I said, you know it all.
I don't know it all.
You know it all, Doug Nelson. And there's a timeout for Griffith. We'll probably see a punt, and as I keep saying, it's getting heavier and heavier out here.
It sure looks like it.
And you're going to have to punt in that wind, in that rain. We haven't seen many punts really go that well in this direction.
Do you have a 1.5-yard play that you trust here?
I know the Eagles do.
Well, yeah.
They do, but
so then 49ers. Oh my God,
they do as well.
Loaded.
But I think you think of that. But do you trust your line? Do you trust the snap, the Foley function when you're on about your own? I believe they're at the 29-yard line. Because if you don't get that, Wheeler, they're licking their chops.
Yeah.
They don't have to go far down the field, and they're not really stressing. For Griffith, if you kind of get a good punt off here, Wheelers might have to throw the ball, and maybe that causes a turnover. But if they could get the field right about here, Jaden Ortiz
with their timeouts,
they're just going to hand the ball off to Jaden Ortiz.
Yeah, and they have their kicker's been amazing. Viticals, he's got a leg.
Yeah.
So they're in field goal range right now.
Once again, the Hose Connections halftime report will be coming up soon, whether you want to watch it here, Griffith and Wheeler, or our studios. Our Centier Bank Studios. So 4th and 1.
Oh, they jumped.
They might have jumped.
There it was.
Wow, they got it. That's a Phil Mason masterclass right there.
You got to have discipline there. You have Griffith, in a bad position. You've got to be disciplined. You've got to think in that timeout. Coach was saying, watch the ball. You cannot jump.
Is that the difference between a 23-year head coach and a 4-year head coach?
No, that's about youth.
Okay.
That's youth on the field wanting to make a play.
Okay.
I'm sure, like I said, Coach Testa and his staff were saying, watch the ball, don't jump. That's kids being kids.
First and 10, and Griffith has every opportunity to run the clock out. We'll see this one, a flag on a play. A keeper right there, but nowhere to go. I mean, Griffith is just having so much trouble finding any room of opportunity for this offense, but there is a flag that appears to be on the Panthers. For Wheeler, they do have, I believe, all 3 of their timeouts still. So for them, they can start calling these timeouts, maybe decline the penalty, because there was really no yards gained on that play.
It looked like a pre-snap, that they stopped it pretty soon. He did decline it.
Yeah, so they declined it. It's going to be second down now. This is where Wheeler is going to be really playing time management, just because you have all 3 of your timeouts. 2:05 to go, and it looks like we do have a timeout right here for the Wheeler Bearcats. So they use their first timeout of the night. 7-6 they lead. If you're just joining us, a big thank you for making us a part of your night. 2 touchdowns in the game so far for the Griffith Panthers. Colton Strezzo, about 13 quarterback keeper. They did not get the 2-point conversion. And for the Wheeler Bearcats, a huge run by the junior running back, Jaden Ortiz. And Tyne Medical keeps his perfect PAT streak, 29 of 29 on the year so far in one of the worst conditions you can ask for.
I think you're trying to jinx him.
I'm not trying. I am not trying. Look, I've
point you out to him if it happens.
I mean, I've called many baseball games.
He's up here, Medical.
I've called many baseball games, and everyone says that, you know, I don't experience it. I don't believe in it, so I just don't believe in it. 2nd and 10 now, 2:05 to go.
It doesn't affect you until it affects you. Watch this.
Let's see what Griffith draws up here, because the passing game, it just does not seem like it's going to be happening tonight.
Not in the wind, anyway.
They haven't been attempting it at all. They had 1 pass play, and it was really an extension of the run game.
It was a little swing pass, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, there's a handoff to Lawson, and nowhere to go. He is dragged and thrown to the ground. A couple of Bearcats there on the play. It looked like one of them might have been Blake Tishy and Braden Olson on that line for Wheeler. Timeout for the Bearcats as it's 3rd and 13 with 1:53 to go. So here come those timeouts, and they're really setting themselves up for an opportunity to get that ball back with plenty of time to drive down the field and get some points on the board before halftime.
Looks like they're trying to put more time on the clock, but yeah, they're just keying on Jackson, and it's very difficult for him to move the ball. I mean, they're bringing the house. Safeties are up, linebackers are coming, filling gaps.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Wheeler, we talked about Griffith and their loss to Calumet last week. Jackson Lawson was responsible for all of their points, including a 2-point conversion. And when that's really the only thing going for you on offense, that's the only thing you watch on film. Yep. That's the only thing you watch, or I should say, you practice on. You have somebody probably wearing like a black jersey or a Panthers jersey and saying, that's Jackson Lawson.
Yep.
Go for him.
Yep.
That's really it. If they want to throw the ball, then you make those adjustments. But until they can show that they can throw the ball, it just makes perfect sense for Wheeler to hone on Jackson Lawson.
Yeah, we'll see how the safety plays it, but it's somewhere along the line, a play-action shot down the field might not be a bad idea.
3rd and 13, and there's another handoff. And actually, no, the quarterback's going to keep it and be tackled in the backfield. And Wheeler quickly calls that time out, about 1:49 to go. And for Griffith, after drawing that encroachment penalty, and some hope for them just because they had that opportunity to maybe run the clock out, go into halftime only down by 1. Here they are now on 4th and 15. They're going to have to punt the ball. And for Wheeler, we know this is an offense that's very capable in scoring in 1:49.
Yeah, it doesn't take them much time. And again, with the rules here for the clock stopping at timeouts and such, they have plenty of time. And it's going to come down to special teams and see if they can kick into those sheets of water that's coming down.
Yeah.
You see that they're kicking right into the rain right now.
Well, this is the 2-minute offense that, your 2-minute drill that you work on all week. It comes alive right here. Now maybe it's not the same because of the rain. Another hometown scoreboard courtesy of our friends from Strachan Van Til update. The Hobart Brickies leading the Highland Trojans 34-0 in the second quarter. So that's another one for all our viewers. And the Valpo Vikings are leading the Lake Central Indians 21-0. interesting news out of that one. It's here's the punt for Griffith, and it's kind of shanked. Nowhere to go on that one. Takes a little bit of a roll, and that's going to be picked up at the Griffith 49-yard line. But going back to that Lake Central Valpo game, starting quarterback Chase Kwiatkowski is out tonight. He got hurt during Maryville last week in the second quarter. They were also without Xavier Williams last week. I'm not sure if he played tonight, but their starting quarterback Chase Kwiatkowski is out for Lake Central.
Well, it helps those bigger schools that they get a bye week, right?
Yes, they do. Lake Central gets the bye week, and they will play Portage in the first round of sectionals.
It's always nice to be healthy when it's
yeah, their sectional will be tough because if they want any hope of continuing their season past sectional, more than likely it's going to be against those Crown Point Bulldogs.
You got to go through them sometime.
So 1:41 to go, no timeouts for Wheeler. A chance here to extend their lead. They're up 7-6. Klimczak.
Oh, boy.
Oh, wow.
Where's the ball?
And the ball is loose, and I believe the Panthers got it. And they did.
Is that an incomplete pass?
I'm not sure, but nevertheless, the Griffith Panthers have the football. The officials are signaling that way. I think the coaches for Wheeler are trying to discuss if that was a pass.
It's a forward pass.
But did he underhand it? Did he underhand throw it?
Does it matter?
I believe. I thought it did. If you underhand it, that's not considered a pass. It's kind of like a lateral. I'm not 100% sure, but that looks to be a turnover, and it is.
I don't know it all, Jack. You got me stumped.
Well, Griffith football just like that with 1:37. I mean, that they were trying to run a lot of motion and confusion, but the Griffith defensive line just blew that play up, and Klimczak, he did not know what to do.
I would do a play-action shot. Just see what happens. One time.
Well, 1:37, I mean, they're on the Wheeler side of the field, so they definitely can if they wanted to. They're going to hand it off to Lawson. Lawson up the middle.
There is nothing there.
And nowhere to go. He got to the line of scrimmage, but, man, as he pushed back a couple of yards, yeah, there is nothing in that run game right now for the Panthers. They are really going to have to find that pass game, and I don't think it helps that you're going on the bad side of the wind as that time keeps ticking with 1:15 to go. Now for Wheeler, they don't have any timeouts. So essentially for Griffith, you can run that clock out and go into halftime only down by 1.
Yeah, again, I think Coach Mason will be pretty happy with that right now, But again, yeah, you have to tip your cap here to the Bearcat defense. They're doing a great job at plugging gaps, and again, if they want to score in any way on this possession, I would do a play action and see what happens. What's it hurt?
And they're going to kneel it.
Yeah.
With 50 seconds to go, there's a kneel by the Griffith Panthers. There was a high snap. A good job by Strezzo to handle that one and kneel it.
Conservative play. They're just get out of here. You're down one possession, and let's get the win behind us.
For Griffith, I think, for them, it's ever since that touchdown, I don't know if they've gotten a first down since then.
Well, Strezzo hasn't been under center.
That's true.
He's been in the slot. They're moving him around. You see him over there. And
there's been some changes, but for Griffith, they're going to have to run one more play before this half is over. But as we saw last play, it was a kneel, and there it is again. So another kneel for the Panthers, and that's going to conclude the first half here at Wheeler High School, where the Bearcats lead 7-6. It's been a low-scoring affair with a lot of rain falling down. Stay tuned for the Hose Connections halftime report. But we're going to take a 2-minute break here as you're watching Game Night, built by Von Tobel here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Have you checked out Centier Bank's student checking account? This no-fee checking account is perfect for students and teens ages 14 to 24 and comes with all the features you need to succeed, such as a debit card, digital banking, and automatic deposit. Centier Bank can help you start establishing good spending habits today for your better tomorrow. For more information, visit Centier.com/student-checking or visit your local branch. If you are under the age of 18, your parent or guardian must also sign on the Centier student checking account. At the age of 25, your account will automatically convert to the Centier checking account. You must deposit $25 to open this account. This account is not eligible for overdraft advantage. Member FDIC.
With electrical services from Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, you can radiate the perfect amount of light and energy into your home. From rewiring and code upgrades to ceiling fans, lighting, security, and more, Economy Electric Heating and Cooling's trained electricians will make sure you can enjoy your home on full power all the time. For a free estimate on electrical work, call Economy Electric Heating and Cooling at 219-923-4441, and you can visit them on the web at 4ajobdoneright.com. That's the number 4ajobdoneright.com.
Hey,
If you work with industrial, pneumatics, or hydraulics, and you're in need of maintenance or repair, you need the right connection. For over 20 years, Hose Connections in Hammond has been the premier leader in the hydraulics industry. Hose Connections is a one-stop shop for sales and service of pneumatics and hydraulics. Hose Connections continues to grow their network of industry contacts, which allows them to meet even your toughest expectations. To learn more, visit HoseConnectionsInc.com. Hose Connections in Hammond. Proven under pressure.
Back here in our game night built by Von Tobel on the Region Sports Network, where the number 8 Wheeler Bearcats lead the Griffith Panthers 7-6. It is now time for the Hose Connections halftime show. Of course, presented by our friends at Hose Connections, proven under pressure. Visit them on the web at hoseconnectionsinc.com. Hose Connections, proven under pressure. Doug, a low-scoring game. It's really been the running game, if you want to say. Both of our touchdowns have been due to the running attack. It started with Colton Strezzo, the QB keeper, for 13 yards. Griffith, they were looking pretty good. The defense was doing their thing, but Jaden Ortiz, when he broke out for that huge run, they got that touchdown, and then Ty Venical able to keep his PAT streak alive, and that's where we are right now. I mean, I wish there was more we could say, but offenses, they've really just been trying to find something in what is a very rainy night.
Again, we've talked about it, field position.
Yeah.
You know, who's going to get the ball in good position. Both teams, the games are won and lost in the trenches. Both coaches talk about that. It's about making plays, and they're going to have to find a way to get Jackson Lawson some help. If they want, it's not going to take, maybe one more score wins the game.
Yeah.
It's a matter of stops.
Well, a big thank you, because we just have some breaking news, actually. Big thank you to our executive producer, Chris Ramirez. He said somebody from Griffith has told him that Strezzo has been out since that touchdown. He said that he has been out, and freshman quarterback Ryan Bolian has been in since that touchdown. So that is something we were kind of looking at, that Strezzo wasn't under center, and I think he was in a couple of plays, but not under center. But now we officially have heard that the freshman, Ryan Bolian, has been the quarterback for the majority of that second quarter.
Well, they did a lot of wildcat, too, with Jackson Davenport. Number 27 was back there quite a bit as well. But
that's someone from Griffith told us, so that's what we're hearing, that Strezzo has been hurt since that rushing touchdown. And if that's the case, well, Phil Mason, he's definitely going to have to make some adjustments, because a freshman quarterback – in conditions like this, that's the only stuff you see in a movie like Friday Night Lights or something.
Right.
So
exactly.
Big news for Griffith. We'll see how that affects them in the second half. But once again, like we just heard, Colton Strezzo has been out with an injury since that touchdown, and freshman backup Ryan Bolian has been the guy since that play. We're going to take a break here in the Hose Connections halftime report. We're going to take a 2-minute break, and when we come right back, we're going to do some of our game scores on our hometown scoreboard, courtesy of our friends from Strachan and Tobel. Once again, a 2-minute break as you're watching Game Night in the Region, built by Von Tobel on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Earn while you learn from the best hands in the business. The Bricklayers Allied Craftworkers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. That's right, this is a paid apprenticeship.
I'm getting an education while learning a trade and getting paid for it.
The thing that surprised me the most about this apprenticeship program is the respect I've received after the proper time and training.
Classes start soon, so apply now. There are training centers throughout Indiana and Kentucky. We are the Bricklayers and Allied Craftworkers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. The best hands in the business.
Flip the switch, a light turns on. Press the button, machines and instruments come to life. Touch the screen, communicate with the world. Simple tasks, guaranteed results, every second of every day. That's the power of power. And that's the power brought to you by the Nika contractors and electrical workers of Local 531.
If you work with industrial, pneumatics, or hydraulics, and you're in need of maintenance or repair, you need the right connection. For over 20 years, Hose Connections in Hammond has been the premier leader in the hydraulics industry. Hose Connections is a one-stop shop for sales and service of pneumatics and hydraulics. Hose Connections continues to grow their network of industry contacts, which allows them to meet even your toughest expectations. To learn more, visit HoseConnectionsInc.com. Hose Connections in Hammond. Proven under pressure.
Welcome back to the Hose Connections Halftime Report. We're live from our game night built by Von Tobel Griffith against the number 8 Wheeler Bearcats, where the Wheeler Bearcats lead 7-6. Now we have some time. We're going to do our Strachan Van Til scoreboard update. It's your favorite Indiana-made grocery store. Shop online for delivery or curbside pickup at StrachanVanTil.com. We have Munster leading KV 21-6. The Crown Point Bulldogs, while doing what they do best, winning football games. They're winning 32-0 against Michigan City in the second quarter. Maryville ahead of Chesterton 14-7. Rensselaer ahead of Tipton 8-0. Hanover Central ahead of Hammond Central 28-0. So those are some of the scores. Lowell over Andrean 9-0 in the second quarter. So far, obviously, our score here is 7-6 Wheeler. Last time we heard, Westside was ahead on Calumet 8-0. And looking at some of our other game nights built by Von Tobel for the Hobart Brickies and the Highland Trojans. That one, of course, live from the Brickyard. And just about, I believe, now they're going into halftime. It's 42-0 Hobart. Yeesh. Another offensive attack for the Brickies. I mean, last week when they scored, I believe, 63 points against Morton. Now 42 here at the half. And for Lake Central and Valpo, when we talked about the Vikings with about a minute to go in the second quarter, they lead 27-0. Remember, Lake Central starting quarterback Chase Kwiatkowski is out, not playing, so the backup Chase Reddick is the new starting quarterback for the Lake Central Indians. But right here at Wheeler High School with about 6:20 to go until the start of the second half. Big thank you to everybody tuning in to tonight's action. I'm Jack Field, Doug Nelson next to me, Nate Ream producing along as Justin Cole in our studio, Scott Stussel on the camera. But we go into the second half, and the weather has not changed. So when the weather has not changed, and you've seen maybe what works and maybe what doesn't work, let's start with Griffith. You've kind of foreshadowed it with trying to do more outside of Lawson, but now that we know a freshman quarterback is under center, what type of plays do you run? Because that's a lot of pressure for one kid.
Well, again, what do you have to lose? You're a freshman quarterback, so I would give him a shot. Again, you do one play action and send a tight end streaking or something. Do one post route, and that'll maybe slow down the secondary a little bit because they're bringing the house every time, and they're in Griffith's backfield before they even snap the football. So I think you're going to have to figure out something, or you're going to continue to play field position and go for the ball and go for turnovers if you're the Griffith defense.
For the Wheeler Bearcats, it's obviously been the game with Jaden Ortiz as of late. The lone touchdown for Wheeler, and he's had a lot of great runs. I mean, now in the last 6 games, he has 9 touchdowns. He's been a threat in the backfield. And Caleb Klimzak, he's only completed 1 pass on the night so far. We've seen a couple of drops from Vetical and Bryce Compton, but it just seems like if you want to win this game, you have to run the football, no matter what team it is.
Well, you have to stay with it. We've seen it. We've got to stay inside the sticks. You've got to be manageable. Third down, manageable. Fourth down, again, manageable. But, again, you can't shoot yourself in the foot with silly penalties and stay on track. You just can't hurt yourself, either team.
Yeah, and, of course, stay with us after the game because when this game is over, we'll do our Proud Union Home Play Game presented by IKORCC, our Crowell Company's Lantern Man superhero of the game, and our Boilermakers Local 374 Blue Collar Player of the Game. And when we get later in the night, of course, at our Centier Bank Studios at Region Sports, we'll have our RSN wrap-up show where we'll get you basically caught up with all the scores around Northwest Indiana and set up for next week's sectional action. Like we said, Wheeler, first round bye. They'll play the winner of Bremen and Bishop Knoll. And for the Griffith Panthers, they will face off against the Rensselaer Central. But going off of Griffith, this has been a tale of two teams just because when they win football games, the offense averages 40 points a game, and they only give up 17. But when they lose games, they only score 15. Now, obviously, the weather is kind of hindering that, but nevertheless, this is a Griffith team. Usually when they are winning football games, it's with offense. But right now, it seems like if they want to win this game, it's going to have to be with defense just because I don't know if we're going to reach that 20-point mark tonight.
Well, you got that, and we hope he's okay. Colton Strezzo,
yeah,
we hope he's okay. With the young man's fine. But, again, when you put a freshman out there, that's a big difference. And he's going to have to step up and make some plays tonight. But, again, when you have Strezzo, and Jackson Lawson in the backfield at the same time, then they have to make a decision. So right now they're very they're a one-trick pony right now. They're going to have to figure out how to move the football.
Talk about the story the freshman quarterback would have to tell all his friends and family if he came out of this one with a victory in there. I mean, if he came into this game, obviously as the backup, freshman quarterback, first time really out there. He's played a couple of snaps this year before this game in the rain. You beat an RSN top 10 team. I mean, that's just like straight out of a movie.
It's like a 14, 15-year-old kid playing against 18, 19-year-old kids. I mean, that's a real difference. But this, again, we hope the young man's fine, Colton Strezzo, but this will do nothing but help that other, our other quarterback and him in his future.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Colton Strezzo is a junior, so he does have at least one more year with Phil Mason and Griffith. And this is, I think, where I really look at coaching in these second half and these low-scoring games with all the rain, just because this is where you really have to make those adjustments, whether it's time management, the plays you run, the formations you have out there. In a 7-6 game where it kind of feels like it's been all Wheeler so far. Obviously Griffith had the first touchdown, but really it seems like Wheeler has done most of the work in this first half. Griffith has every chance to come out of this game with a victory.
Oh, sure.
And when you have a coach like Phil Mason, you can never count his teams out of any game.
Right. I think, sometimes as coaches we can overcoach, and I'm not saying that's what these guys are doing, but when the variables are like this, wind and rain, and you got to simplify.
Yeah.
Block the guy in front of you. Bring your tight end in, bring somebody else in to get those guys that are shooting gaps for the backers, but simplify, especially with a freshman quarterback. Mm-hmm. You got to simplify and just do what we do well. That's we can't control Wheeler and we can't control the weather. Let's do what we do well. Like you said, they've scored like 40 points a game last few weeks. So let's get back to what we do and do it.
Well, we're going to take a timeout here. We're going to take a 2-minute break, but you're watching one of our game nights built by Von Tobel here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
If you work with industrial, pneumatics, or hydraulics, and you're in need of maintenance or repair, you need the right connection. For over 20 years, Hose Connections in Hammond has been the premier leader in the hydraulics industry. Hose Connections is a one-stop shop for sales and service of pneumatics and hydraulics. Hose Connections continues to grow their network of industry contacts, which allows them to meet even your toughest expectations. To learn more, visit HoseConnectionsInc.com. Hose Connections in Hammond. Proven under pressure.
For over 100 years, Burns Funeral Home and Crematory has been assisting families in their time of need. Serving Northwest Indiana, the staff at Burns Funeral Home will help guide your family in creating a meaningful ceremony. From a simple to elaborate to traditional or unique, the caring family at Burns Funeral Home will tailor a ceremony to fit your needs. And for your other loved ones, Burns Funeral now has a pet cemetery and crematory. Visit burnsfuneral.com or give them a call at 219-942-1117. Welcome to Public Bar and Rec, located in downtown Crown Point, a place for good games, good drinks, and good food. So come in and make it public. Try to survive zombie dodgeball, score a hole-in-one playing golf, or choose from over 13 multi-sport simulator games while fueling your competition with a variety of appetizers, entrees, and beverages. We have games for all ages with our family-friendly hours till 9 p.m. Reserve your simulator at publicbarandrec.com and let the fun begin. Pepe's Mexican Restaurant in Griffith is an original concept, a full-service restaurant offering casual family dining as well as carry-out service. The menu at Pepe's offers customers a broad selection of authentic Mexican-style food prepared in the traditional Mexican manner. Pepe's, where friends and family can gather to enjoy the company of one another in a friendly atmosphere. Located at 222 East Ridge Road in Griffith, Pepe's is open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner. Pepe's Mexican Restaurant, 923-6293. Pepe's. Ole!
Back here on our game night built by Von Tobel on the Region Sports Network as we're wrapping up the O's Connections halftime report. Again, you set for the second half here at Wheeler High School, where the number 8 Wheeler Bearcats lead the Griffith Panthers 7-6. I'm Jack Phil, alongside me, Doug Nelson. And Doug, we talked about in the halftime show, we talked about in the pregame show. Obviously, it's going to be a heavy dose of running in the second half. And, you know, when there's a heavy dose of running, that means that time keeps clicking. And both teams are not going to have as many possessions and chances you probably would if it was a picture-perfect night.
Yeah, being a one-possession game, you know, you're right there.
Yeah.
You're one play away on both sides of the ball this evening. So, you know, again, we talked about it. You got to simplify. If you're Wheeler, again, do what's got you here. They're being very aggressive on defense. They're, you know, Ortiz is doing a great job running the football, and they're making great decisions. So, and I think that, you know, they continue to throw the ball every once in a while. They're going to get one. You know, they're going right through their hands. They're going to be okay.
Before we get to this Quintel kickoff, Langle's Pizza has been a favorite spot since 1979. Enjoy pizza, sandwiches, and more. Dine in or carry out. Langle serves Northwest Indiana from their 3 locations, Highland, Cherville, and Crown Point. Order online at langlespizza.com. Langle's Pizza, the official pizza of the Region Sports Network, as we get set for this Quintel kickoff. And, of course, this kickoff and all kickoffs are presented by Quintel Incorporated, specializing in the reconditioning, repair, and remanufacturing of heat exchangers, handling jobs of all sizes throughout the country since 1994. And, of course, you're watching RSN Game Night built by Von Tobel. Von Tobel, building better together, your local building material supplier and design center. Visit VonTobel.com to find out more. They have locations in Valpo, Cherville, and Michigan City. So Griffith will kick it off here to start off this second half. Chance for Wheeler to add on to their lead. They'll start this second half with the ball. We haven't really seen much returns in this game. The kickoffs have kind of been a little bit squibbish as of late, but the 10 is still down for Wheeler. But
yeah, that's a Mother Nature 1-10-0. That's bad.
The rain does seem like it has slowed down a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. The wind is also dying down, so maybe we have a little bit of more of a.
There's a little pooch kick. Important for Wheeler to jump on it, and it looks like they are able to. So able to jump on it at about their own 40-yard line. Not really an onside kick, but a little bit of a pooch kick by Griffith.
A little squibber.
Yeah.
Looks like my drive.
Not a slicer?
After you, I sliced the ball, Jack.
Okay.
You have no idea what you got going here. It's a little bit of everything.
All right. So Wheeler now 40-yard line. Their only touchdown from the legs of Jaden Ortiz. Now 10 touchdowns on the year for the junior running back. Let's see if Klimzak throws the ball a little bit more here. That the weather has gone better, and an open receiver. And there goes Compton, one-on-one coverage.
Oh.
And incomplete. A chance right there. It could have been a huge play for the Bearcats, but a good defense by the Panthers. I mean, no one was covering him. Some miscommunication on the defense, and they barely got to him in time.
Good coverage there by Vincent Hewlett, but great job. And, again, I think that those shots are there. And I think that, it just takes one. To go up 2 possessions in this game would be like 3 or 4 in a normal game.
Yeah, they've taken a couple of them throughout the night. Haven't connected on them yet. So Klimzak, he's going to hand it off to Jaden Ortiz. Ortiz up the middle.
He's gone.
And on the far sideline, down the field, the 30, the 20, the 10, and in for a touchdown. Jaden Ortiz takes it to the house for the second time tonight. And Wheeler extends their lead now 13-6. Boy, can he fly down the field.
Yeah, he hit the hole, and he was gone running away from people. Griffith doesn't have anybody with the speed to catch up to him, so great play call, great execution there by the Wheeler offense, and especially the offensive line. They don't get enough credit, but great job there by the Bearcats.
Start off the half with a pass play and then come out with that run play. 2 huge runs by the junior running back, 11 touchdowns on the year. Venicle's extra point is up.
And there he goes.
Good. And he
you go.
misses his first extra point
Mr.
of
Noah
the
John
year.
Announcer jinx.
Still do not believe in it, but but now he is 29 of 30 on the year. Helps Griffith a little bit because it could have been 8 points. Now it's only a 7-point deficit.
Still a one-possession game.
Well, we saw the offense right out of the gate for Wheeler. Let's see if we see it here for Griffith, because they're going to have to respond some type of way if Jaden Ortiz is going to fly down the field like that.
That official's flying down the field. That dude's hitting it. See that hustle?
Well, the weather's gotten better now, so
he got a halftime pep talk or something. He was flying.
The weather's getting better. Everyone feels more comfortable out there.
He is running for his job. Look at him.
So here is
that guy's name.
So here is now the Quintel kickoff.
Make him famous. Good hustle, young ref.
Of course, this kickoff and all kickoffs are presented by Quintel Incorporated. And that one will go into the end zone for a touchback. Of course, Quintel Incorporated handling jobs of all sizes throughout the country since 1994. So like we said in our Hose Connections halftime report, it's been a new quarterback under center for the Griffith Panthers. We don't know what happened to Colton Strezzo, but after that touchdown, he was removed from the game. So as of right now, it's the freshman Ryan Bullion that's going to take control of things. Jackson Lawson, he could not find anything in that second quarter. So for Griffith, the freshman quarterback is going to have to work some magic here.
Yeah, again, it's still a one-possession game. They have plenty of time, but they're going to have to move the football.
Yeah. Wheeler trying to show some pressure. Bullion hands it off to Lawson. Lawson able to get a couple of yards, but dragged down from behind, about a 2-yard gain on that run. And that's the question. When are we going to see the freshman quarterback throw the football?
Yeah, well, it'd be interesting to see here too if the Griffith offensive line made any adjustments. They have to do something to some stunts and some picks to pick up these guys, because the backers are really causing commotion here for the Bearcats.
Yep. 2nd and 8 now. Griffith on about their own 20-yard line. And another handoff to Lawson. Lawson saw a hole, but, man, that hole was filled right away by the Bearcats. Nowhere to go on that one. And quickly, 3rd down. 3rd and 6 it's going to be now for the Panthers. If you're Griffith, do you think of punting, or do you have to try and go for it? And I asked that question because it's 3rd and 6. Do you try to get it 4th and very short, or do you try to get all the yards on one play?
Well, I think this play will dictate what happens on 4th, but I don't think you have to get it all right now. You have to stay patient. It's a 4-quarter game, and and just keep within reach. It's only a one-possession game still, like we mentioned. You can't panic here in the third quarter.
No, absolutely. And that'll be interesting to see how that freshman quarterback handles that pressure. Man in motion, and he's going to give it off right there down the edge on the far sideline. Tackle, about a 3-yard gain on that run. And I think for Griffith, this is where you ask, are you punting it or are you going to go for it? Colton Strezzo was their punter too. So the question is who, and it does look like they are going to punt the ball. So it is a punt for the Panthers now with under 10 minutes to go. The return man for Wheeler at about his own 45-yard line, but that punt not going anywhere. It does take a nice bounce and rolls about to the 46-yard line. And Wheeler will have great starting field position once again as they lead 13-6 with 9:44 to go. Thank you all for joining us on our game night built by Von Tobel. The rain, it definitely seems like it has died down a lot compared to what it looked like in that first half.
Yeah.
Usually you can tell by the lights that are directly across from us, and from our vantage point, I don't really see it coming down that much.
It's coming a little bit.
And I see the umbrellas are gone.
Yeah.
So
again.
And the tent's still down.
Tent is still not a tent.
There's another handoff to Ortiz. Up the middle, breaks a tackle, and he got tripped up. Jaden Ortiz Almost had another house call right there, but just tripped at the Griffith 40-yard line.
Shoestring tackle there by the Panthers. They are in desperate need of a stop.
Yeah. Man, that was another 6 points right there, but like you said, that shoestring tackle just saves the day for now. And that Wheeler run game is really causing some havoc. And there's another handoff, Ortiz up the middle. Good job here by Griffith, but he's still pushing his way. And here comes some more Bearcats trying to help push. It's going to blow this one dead, about a 5-yard gain on that run. So 2nd and 5 for the Bearcats now. And I think this is what they're going to rely on. Although the weather has gotten better, it's more of a passing environment. Jane Ortiz can't be stopped.
Well, sure. Until they prove that they can stop it, if I'm Wheeler, I'm going to continue to run the ball and give the ball to Ortiz. Keep feeding him. He's having a big night.
8:45 to go now. Wheeler on the Griffith 35-yard line. 2nd and 5. Klimzak hands it off to Ortiz. Ortiz up the middle and tripped. Able to get about 2 yards on that gain, so it's going to be a 3rd down for the Bearcats, and this is a very important 3rd down for the Panthers.
Yeah, number 43, A.J. Farr, in on the tackle there for Griffith, but along with a lot of other guys. But this is a huge play. This is probably 4-down territory if you're Wheeler.
I was going to say, it seems like this will probably be 4-down territory for Wheeler, which makes it even tougher for Griffith just because Wheeler has been able to move the ball down the field, and they've been able to get at least 4 yards almost every play they've run so far.
Yeah, they're moving the pile, and they're having their way with the Griffith defense right now.
Well, we'll see what they do here. You do have Bryce Compton one-on-one on that far sideline, but a lot of bodies near the quarterback. Klimzak's going to hand that one off up the middle. A hard tackle, but it is going to be a Four Seasons mechanical 1st down for the Bearcats. Colton Kingery, the freshman, was on the carry for that one. Of course, Four Seasons Mechanical. It's your Northwest Indiana heating and air conditioning specialist. Visit them on the web at fourseasonsmechanical.com. So Wheeler moves the chains and takes more time off the clock here, steadily using their run game to really give them time of possession.
Yeah, just moving the sticks.
And about the same formation as that 3rd and 4th play. You have 2 running backs there. Next, the Klimzak. And Klimzak, Ortiz with the ball up the middle. Tackled again, about 4 yards on that gain. But that's just been too easy for Wheeler. Every time it goes up the middle, it's at least 3 or 4 yards.
Yeah, like we mentioned, the guys in the trenches there for the Bearcats are really doing a great job. Yeah. And 3 or 4 yards a pop, I mean, that's how you win football games.
And if you do your math correctly, I mean, if you keep doing that down the field, you're going to get enough 1st downs where you're eventually in the end zone.
Yeah, I'll let you do the math, but it's Friday night.
I was a communications major, so my math is a little off sometimes. So now under 7 minutes, 2nd and 6. Wheeler at about the 25-yard line of Griffith. And it's the same formation again for the 3rd straight play. And Klimzak hands it off to Ortiz on that far sideline all the way to the right side, using a couple of his blockers and able to get a Four Seasons mechanical 1st down.
You talk about Phil Mason being old school, but a lot of the formations that Tessa's running is it's old school. Mm-hmm. They're just moving those 2 tight ends one side or the other, and Ortiz is following them. I mean, it's very simple. Just follow those 2 guys. They haven't really run any misdirection as of late, but if you're the defense, you got to watch where those guys go. Watch where the tight ends go, because that's where the ball's going.
We talked about on the Quintel kickoff show, and it's the same formation once again for Wheeler. Compton's one-on-one on the outside. You might throw it to him here. It's 1st and 10. And Klimzak, is going to hand that one off. He's got a couple of blockers on that far sideline. Kingery is going to be pushed out of bounds. The freshman able to get a couple of yards on that play. But, we talked about, kind of the similar upbringings Phil Mason and Nick Testa have had. Both coaches, their first 2 high school football jobs in Northwest Indiana, Hammond Clark and Wheeler. So maybe taking a page out of Phil Mason's book.
That's possible. But they're on that side, on that play, they just moved the tight ends to the left side and follow the tight ends to the left.
Same formation. And, I think one of these times they're going to have to throw it to Bryce Compton because it's the same formation again. And once again, he's one-on-one on the outside.
There they go to the right.
And we'll see what they do here. And maybe some movement. Yep, he did jump. It's going to be a false start for Wheeler. kind of surprising just because they've ran that play the last 5 times.
But it's working.
It is.
Why change it?
So how about that for Wheeler? Backing up here pretty a lot. I mean, it's only a 5-yard penalty, but took a couple steps back. And we'll see if they run that same formation. I mean, it's been working, but obviously the saying.
But like you're saying, there is a counter out of it. There, whether they show it or not, we might not need to, but there is a counter out of it.
Here they go again. Same formation. Bryce Compton one-on-one near that Wheeler sideline on the left side.
So here they come to the near side, like you said.
And
call the timeout.
And the timeout for Wheeler, almost a delay of game. So Nick Testa having to use one of their timeouts here. The last 2 plays, I guess I should say, just have not gone well. The false start, obviously, and then a delay of game almost. They had to call that timeout to avoid that.
Well, I think Nick Testa and his staff understand that this possession, it's a big possession.
Absolutely.
To go up more than 1 score against Griffith, who's having trouble moving the football, they could be the ball game.
Griffith,
like you said, it might be the first of 20 wins here.
For Griffith, they can score. It takes 1 play to score, but when you're down by multiple possessions, then that's when the task gets really hard because, like I said, 1 play, 1 touchdown, it can easily happen. But then you're asking your offense to do it 2 times, maybe 3 times.
Yeah, and outside of that Strezzo touchdown run, they might be negative yardage right now. I mean, they are not moving the football.
You are probably right on it because they have not been able to move the football. And obviously things have gotten a little harder because the freshman quarterback is now in. Well, it is a different formation for the Wheeler Bearcats. 3 receivers, 2 on his right, 1 on his left. Jaden Ortiz right next to him. Klimzak hands it off. No, he's going to keep it. A little pass outside and incomplete. Tried to go to his receiver. Couldn't see who that one was. Might have been number 1. That's Bryce Compton, if that was the case.
Looked like it, but you got 3rd and long. You can go back to the run because you are in 4-down territory, and you have the field goal kicker.
Medical on the year is 2 of 4 on field goals. His longest is 46 yards.
And has now missed a PAT, thanks to the announcer.
3rd and 11 with 6:01 to go. We will not remember those comments.
I will.
But, and here's that formation once again. 3rd and 11, you have Compton on the outside all by himself. The tight end's in motion. Ortiz and Kingery in the backfield.
There's the
counter. There's the handoff to Kingery. He's going to be taken down by the legs. Not a first down, but definitely got close to it. About 4 yards to go. So it's going to be 4th and 4. Definitely 4-down territory. You're right on that goal line area in the red zone. Even if you weren't going to get it, I think you feel pretty confident in your defense just because, like you said, ever since Strezzo has been out, Griffith might have negative total yards.
Yeah, 4th and 4. Big play here. If you're Griffith, you've got to come up with a stop right now.
And the same formation once again for Wheeler.
They're going to move the tight ends over. See if they foul it with Ortiz.
That's kind of been the case. There you go. Jaden Ortiz with the handoff, cuts to his left. He didn't get it, but there is a flag on the play. We'll see what the call is, but for right now, the Griffith defense stands tall and stops the Bearcats. As they discuss this one, not sure what it's going to be.
False start.
The flag happened as he was tackled.
You can decline it.
And yeah, that looks to be the case. It looks to be on the Bearcats. And that's going to be a turnover on downs and a huge stand for Griffith. You talked about how big that touchdown would have been, but now for Griffith, that's some momentum for you.
Sure it is.
Get that stop, maybe puts a little bit more confidence in your freshman quarterback just because my defense has my back. Now let me go out there and have their back.
Yeah, you got to go 97 yards, but this is a good start. It really is. Or not. I'm sorry, not. There you go with my math. Maybe like 93 yards, but why not kick the field goal there with Vickrell, and he's a good kicker.
Well, we'll see how this ends up being right now. And there's a handoff to Lawson. Lawson right up the gut. And still on his feet, but being pushed back by that Wheeler defense and nowhere to go. So for Jackson Lawson, the first quarter we saw him have the runs he usually has, but the second and now here in the third, it's been really hard for him to find any type of room.
Yeah, the Griffith front forward made it the Wheeler front forward made it very tough for Lawson here this evening.
So So 2nd and 10 now, under 5 to go. Deep in their own, almost in their own end zone. Do have 2 receivers out there for the freshman quarterback. He's going to throw it, trying to find some room, and he's going to take it himself. Goes to his left, but he is met right at the line of scrimmage. Probably the first design pass play we've seen in quite a while for Griffith, but give credit to that Wheeler line. They really broke through, and for Ryan Bolian, I mean, he had nowhere to go on that play, and that's when the freshman quarterback starts to panic because you've never really been in those types of situations.
Yeah, he did look over here to the wide receiver, but number 11 was in on that tackle for Wheeler, David Diaz.
Yeah, David Diaz might have been one of the guys as well. There's been a plethora of Bearcats on these tackles. So 3rd and 12, another design pass play. It's kind of deep, but nowhere to go. And it's going to fall incomplete. Almost an opportunity for an interception for Wheeler. It'll be 4th and 12 for Griffith. So 2 design pass plays in a row. Phil Mason's trying to find something that works. Nevertheless, they'll have to punt the ball right back to Wheeler. And it's important to have a good punt on this one because anything less than probably past that 35-yard line, you're in danger once again.
That's a hold. That was a hold.
And that punt's up. It's going to take a little bit of a bounce and roll to about the 32-yard line. And Wheeler has great starting field position here with 3:37 in the 3rd quarter. If you're just joining us, Wheeler with 2 touchdowns. Jaden Ortiz has been the man on both of those, and both of those touchdowns have been huge runs. And for Griffith, it was Colton Strezzo, and like we've kind of talked about briefly at our halftime show and throughout the 3rd quarter, he has not been in the game since that 13-yard rushing touchdown. So it's been the freshman quarterback. So Wheeler, another opportunity here to extend their lead. It's 13-6. 2 receivers on the left, 1 on the right. Klimzak hands it off to Kingery, and he is tripped up at the line of scrimmage. And the Griffith defense has been doing a good job on that run defense since that Jaden Ortiz touchdown here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, that was Ortiz up the middle, and they're really keen on him, but they're also keen on their tails. You know, if you and I up here can, you know, for the first time we've seen them this year, can pick up on their tight ends moving and where the ball's going to go. It's not that difficult. It's still a matter of stopping it. You know, it's like that old school football we talked about. You know, Hobart used to run like 5 plays, but you stop it. You know, I mean, it's still about execution.
2nd and 10. Klimzak's going to drop back. Trying to find a man down the field and off the hands and incomplete. That looked to be Tyne Venical, the intended receiver for Wheeler. Just can't get anything going with that pass game. There was a couple of Panthers in the area to defend that. Nevertheless, 3rd and 10 now with under 3 minutes to go.
Yeah, Dean Ellis was right in Klimzak's lap as he threw the football, put pressure on the quarterback. But 3rd and long here. We'll see what they decide to do.
3rd and long, probably 4-down territory once again for Wheeler, but 1-on-1 right here on the near sideline. Receiver on the far sideline as well. Klimzak drops back for the 2nd straight time.
Screen.
A little screen pass, but he is met as he catches it. Jaden Ortiz nowhere to go. As soon as he caught it, he was tackled at the 30-yard line. So about 4th and 8 now. You go for this, or do you punt it?
I go for it.
Okay.
Number 44, A.J. Farr from Griffith, in on that tackle. I think they sniffed that out. It took a while to happen, right? I mean, it wasn't real smooth, but took a while for that to get going.
So 4th and 8. Almost done here in the 3rd quarter as Wheeler leads by 7. You got 2 receivers on the right, 1 on the left. Jaden Ortiz on the left of Klimzak. And Klimzak drops back again. Deep pass, 1-on-1, and incomplete.
Great coverage there by number 6, Jason Dillon from Griffith. Really shielded the receiver off so he couldn't even get to the ball.
That's another turnover on downs.
That's a win for Griffith.
Yeah.
Right? They're continuing to win these battles, just staying in the game. They're just some grit here. They're really fighting with this freshman quarterback, just trying. And again, they got decent field position here.
Yeah, they always say, when you keep a team that maybe shouldn't be in this game, when you keep them in the game, that's when they strike in that 4th quarter, because they start to gain confidence. Look, we're not playing great football, but we still have a chance here.
Yeah.
And that's what Griffith has to be thinking. Look, yeah, we have a freshman quarterback. We're only down by 7. One play, and we're tied.
One possession.
2 minutes. Another throw right there. It's going to be deflected and incomplete. That one was trouble on the play for Wheeler was David Diaz. He has 3 pass deflections coming into tonight. Now make that 4, but man, if you're able to catch that one, that's a house call.
Yeah, that ball was in the air for a long time. That's that you might want that one back, but second long.
Yeah, second and long, 2nd and 10 now. 2 minutes to go. But now we're seeing Griffith pass the ball more. I believe that's 3 straight design pass plays.
I think that's the way it's going to have to happen.
Yeah. So handoff on a jet sweep right there. Ooh, tackle from behind. Hard hit by the Bearcats. Maybe Braden Olson was one of the guys on that tackle. You also had, I believe, Landon Good, another one, and Xavier Harlovich. So a couple of Bearcats. Man, that was a hard tackle.
That was a good hit there by the Bearcat defense.
So 3rd and 10. And we talked about, how Wheeler is turnover on downs, and that should give Griffith that confidence boost. But the offense has to find a way to move here.
Yeah, it just feels like Wheeler's just waiting to take a 2 or 3 score lead here.
3rd and 10, a handoff right there and nowhere to go. Tackled at the line of scrimmage. And
4th down, you have to punt.
Just like that, Griffith probably going to have to punt again. Can't take advantage of 2 straight turnover on downs by Wheeler. And it looks like someone down for the Bearcats. Seems to be okay. He's gingerly walking his way back to the sidelines. A very positive thing to see.
He's got a flat tire. His shoe fell off, man. He's got some fancy shoes, though.
It's the pink shoes and on our Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So there's a lot of pink on the field.
But
so 50 seconds and counting. 4th and 10. Punt here for the Panthers. Low, able to handle it. Line drive, and that one will roll at about the 35-yard line. So a low snap, but still an effective punt. Pins Wheeler back in their own territory, something we haven't really seen with punts throughout the night.
Yeah, the field is Wheeler has definitely been winning the field position game, and great kick there by number 72, Ryan Rose.
Yep.
I mean, if your kicker's number 72, that's interesting.
Well, just a reminder, you're watching RSN Game Night coverage brought to you by Von Tobel. Von Tobel, building better together, your local building material supplier and design center. Visit VonTobel.com to find out more. So we've seen more passes from both teams as we end here the 3rd quarter. There's a little bit of a jet sweep handoff. That's Bryce Compton on the carry, and a little bit of a stiff arm tackle at the 50-yard line. So it's a 4 Seasons Mechanical 1st down, and that's really the first time we've talked about Bryce Compton. Hasn't had a catch all night, but how do you get him involved? It's a little jet sweep run right there.
Right, he got him in some open air there. He's fast, got some long legs. He hit a stride and turned the corner. Good job by the young man there.
Yep, 4 Season Mechanical 1st down in Maryville, Indiana. It's your Northwest Indiana heating and air conditioning specialist. Visit them on the web at 4seasonsmechanical.com. 20 seconds to go here at about the 50-yard line. Klimzak is going to hand off to his running back, Ortiz. Ortiz makes a couple of moves, but tackled quickly past the 50-yard line down at the Griffith 49-yard line, and that appears that will run out the time here in the 3rd quarter. There's 15 seconds to go, and both teams don't seem to be in a rush, and they aren't. The Wheeler Bearcats are making their way towards the other side of the field, and we have played 3 here at Wheeler High School. The number 8 Bearcats lead by 7. Stay tuned for what should be an exciting 4th quarter. We're going to take a minute break here as you're watching our game night built by Von Tobel on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso is a leader in athletics apparel and equipment sales. With in-house production including screen printing, trophies, embroidery, and more, Blythe's can help you to create the perfect look. For more information, visit them online at teamblythes.com. Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso, where the athletes shop.
Centrally located in downtown Indianapolis, the Hampton Inn is just steps away from Bankers Life Fieldhouse. Situated at 105 South Meridian Street, shopping, restaurants, entertainment, and many Indianapolis attractions are in near proximity. Hampton Inn has much to offer, including a hot breakfast, high-speed internet access in every room, as well as a gym fitness center. For reservations, the number is 317-261-1200. The website is hamptonin3.hilton.com. Hampton Inn, Indianapolis, downtown.
Back here at game night, built by Von Tobel, a 2nd and 8 run. Jaden Ortiz to the Griffith 45-yard line. It's going to be a 3rd down for the Bearcats. Big thank you to everybody tuning into tonight's action. Once again, our game night built by Von Tobel, Jack Thiel, and Doug Nelson. Here on the call, Nate Remian producing alongside Justin Cole, and of course, Scott Stessel on camera. For Wheeler, they've had 2 consecutive turnover on downs. We've seen them be aggressive on offense, but they haven't been able to execute those plays.
Yeah, again, it's funny how the weather kind of slowed down a little bit, and we had no points in that quarter. So it's kind of interesting how that worked.
We did have the touchdown by Jaden Ortiz.
Yeah, the second quarter.
So he hands that one off.
Short
again. That Griffith defensive line blows it up. No gain on that play. 4th down now, and you might just have to punt this ball out because Griffith has not been able to move the ball, and this is an opportunity for you to move, or should I pin them back at about their own 10-yard line.
For sure. You know, pin them back and make them have to go 90-plus yards. You want to maybe try to do like a directional punt here and don't let them kick it in the end zone.
There is 2 return men in the back for Griffith. Low snap, able to handle it.
He's keeping it.
And he's going to keep it. And on the run he is. It's going to be a 1st down and some more down the sideline. Breaks a tackle and some more. And out of bounds. How about that? Nick Testo with that play call. And the Wheeler Bearcats are in the red zone. A Four Seasons Mechanical 1st down. That could easily be one of our proud Union home play of the games presented by IKOR-CC. A fake punt and a run down the field. Wow, does that really shift the momentum?
Yeah, the game needed a little spark. It was getting a little quiet, but great play call. And what do you have to lose? I mean, Griffith's been struggling moving the football. And
so just like that, Wheeler in scoring position. A handoff, Ortiz up the middle, breaks a tackle and through for his 3rd touchdown of the night, Jaden Ortiz. And the Wheeler Bearcats now lead 19-6. And the light show continues, and it's been the Jaden Ortiz show tonight. Now on the year, he has 12 touchdowns and make that 11 touchdowns in the last 6 games for the junior running back.
He's one of those names that, you know, unfortunately, or how it works, is that a lot of the press goes to the Duneland teams, the bigger schools, and he's a guy that no one's ever, you know, you don't hear that much about, but he's making a name for himself here tonight.
Wheeler's going to go for it here. Trying to make it 21-6. Klimczak's going to keep it. Rolls to his right, the throw, and complete. So that's a 2-point conversion successful for Wheeler. Now 21-6, their biggest lead of the night, 15. And all the momentum on the Bearcat side.
That was Klimczak to Jackson Smith, 2-point conversion.
There you go.
Yeah. It's only the second completion, right?
It is. I mean,
hey, whatever.
It's been the rushing attack of Jaden Ortiz. I mean, the game he's had, it's one of those games where you remember for your career, but it's also one of those games where you get the local media outlets talking about you. And, you know, you kind of talk about him. You talk about Klimczak. You talk about Compton, Venical. A guy like Jaden Ortiz, he's in the shadows, and he's like, hey, I'm pretty good too.
Yeah, he's fast, boy. He runs away from people, and that's a good tool to have.
Yeah, about 11-yard touchdown run that was. 10:28 to go, and for Griffith, who has struggled mightily on offense, they're going to have to find something probably on this drive here. Because with 10:28 to go, Wheeler, and that one's off the Griffith Panther. That ball is live. A good job by them to jump on, and I mean, right off the heel of one of the Griffith Panthers. And going back to what I was saying with 10:26, if you're Griffith and you don't get anything here, Wheeler will easily run that ball. And, on a successful drive, they can take 5, maybe 6 minutes off the clock.
Yeah, eat the clock and get points on top of it. But, again, we as we talked about at the beginning, Jack, Coach Mason, he's going to use this game for next week and for next year. This is all film. These guys are so young. I don't know if I've seen a varsity football team with one senior on it before, so this is nothing but something to work with and build off of.
And it's going to be interesting for Griffith as there's the handoff to Lawson, and Lawson quickly met about a yard on the game. But for Griffith, he
came up with the ball.
It looks like maybe a fumble right there.
He's calling him down? Or
let's see what they call. They haven't made a signal yet. Wheeler obviously signaling that there's a fumble and it's their ball. I believe they said he's down.
The side judge said he was down.
They're still talking it over. I'm unsure, and it looks like it's going to be Griffith football. But for Griffith, it's a quick turnaround for them, depending on the health of Colton Stresno, because you have Rensselaer Central next week on the first round.
Yeah.
And a team like Wheeler, you get the bye.
Yeah.
And, Wheeler might not want that bye.
We've talked about it. When you're playing well, we want to play tomorrow.
Yeah.
Let's play.
They're on their way, it looks like, to maybe 6 games in a row and clinching and winning the GSSC South title for the first time since 2015. So they have a chance here. High snap. Bullion rolls to his right. And sacked and brought down in the backfield. The Bearcats are on the prowl. And there's no stopping this team right now.
Yeah, they're just pinning their ears back. Again, the front four of Wheeler doing an amazing job pressuring this freshman quarterback, He's seeing things that he hasn't seen yet. Just think last year he was playing middle school football, and now he's playing varsity football. That's a big jump.
So that backs him up 3rd and 15 now, under 10 minutes to go, about 9 minutes now, and a lot to go here. You got to find something, and he's going to throw a pass on the outside. It is caught, but nowhere to go on that completion. Able to complete his first pass of the night, but just nowhere to go on that one. A little outlet pass. 4th and 16. Actually, no, it's going to be 4th and 18 now with a 2-yard loss, and probably another punt here by the Panthers. Obviously, you're down 15. You got to find some type of offense. But if you were not even to get this 4th down conversion, Wheeler would probably score in a jiff.
Yeah. If you're Wheeler, you're okay with running the clock and working on some things and keeping the ball on the ground.
And for Griffith, they have not completed a play more than probably 16 yards since their touchdown. And there's a low snap. Ball's on the ground, and nevertheless, it's still going to be Wheeler football.
Yeah, either way, it's Wheeler football.
It's Wheeler football. It's a low snap, and the things for the Panthers are just not going their way tonight.
Yeah, the wheels are falling off there on the far sideline.
It was a positive start for them with that Colton Stresno touchdown, but now 21 straight unanswered points by the Bearcats, and possibly more on the way.
Yeah, right now, if you're Wheeler, you take a quick shot. Take a quick shot right now. Put the final nail in the coffin, right?
That would do it.
You're in great field position.
A touchdown here definitely puts that nail in the coffin.
Yeah.
Jane Ortiz, he's been the man. 3 touchdowns so far on the night. Klimzak hands it off to Ortiz. Ortiz bounces all the way to the left, cuts back into the inside, and brought down at the 10-yard line.
Good cut there by Ortiz to cut it back inside. He's a shifty, too. He's got speed and he's shifty.
So about 2nd and 5, 8 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter. Bearcats win here 6 in a row. GSSC South title. Going to sectionals as one of the hottest teams in the area after starting their year 0-3. Nick Testa, first-year head coach for the Wheeler Bearcats, who spent 3 years at Hammond Clark. Working some magic with this team. He's got the playmakers to do it. And Klimzak is going to hand that one off to Ortiz. Ortiz nowhere really to go on that one. Brought down quickly by the Panthers. About a 1-yard loss on that play. So it appears to be 3rd and 6 now. And that time just keeps ticking. They're in no rush to really run the play here. Griffith, or I should say Wheeler, is going to take their time, run the clock. And if they get a touchdown, they're happy. But the main priority right now is getting that clock to zeros.
Sure. You talked about their first 3 games. They started out with Hanover Central,
who's undefeated.
And Kankakee Valley is a 4A school, and River Forest was playing really well at that point of the year. So that's how you start the year. That's how you find out what you got to work on.
Klimczak rolls to his right. He's going to be brought down and sacked. That looks like to be number 7.
Number 1.
For the Griffiths. Number 1 for the Panthers, Ventress Hollett. The strong safety, a sophomore, able to sack the quarterback and make it now 4th and 20. And you got to go back to Wheeler. I mean, they defeated Boone Grove.
Yeah,
so
that's their big rivalry here in Porter County for those guys. And Klimczak took a shot right there. He got slammed pretty good. But, yeah, I mean, Wheeler's just got everything going the right way, and they have weapons.
You talk about that rivalry. It's kind of funny because when Boone Grove's new stadium was being built, Boone Grove played their home games here. They played them here at Wheeler High School. So Klimczak will drop back, throw near the end zone, and that one is picked off by the Panthers. That looks to be Jackson Lawson for the second time tonight, able to stop a touchdown by the Bearcats and keep this game somewhat still alive for Griffith. But the second interception for the, I say running back and also secondary.
Yeah, the bunch of guys playing Ironman football, but just give them a flicker of hope here.
Yeah,
right? That's all you just did.
So Griffith, this seems probably their last chance. I mean, they have to have 2 scores here. They're down 15, 6:14 to go. They do have all timeouts, in case you were wondering. So you're going to need a big play on this drive, and it seems like if anyone's going to make that big play, it's got to be Jackson Lawson.
It's going to happen quickly too.
Yeah.
Jack.
Bullion keeps it himself. Rolls to his right, throw down the field, and incomplete. And he had a man wide open. Looks like that might have been number, I think that was 17. The intended
13.
Was a 13, Jason Quillian, the freshman.
Another freshman.
Another one.
A freshman throwing to a freshman in a
it's
varsity football game. I mean,
it's a young team. I mean, like we said, 1 senior on this squad. And you have 1 freshman receiver, 1 freshman quarterback now.
Yeah.
You actually have 2 freshmen receivers. You have.
So you're basically playing like almost a JV roster.
Your left tackle is a freshman.
Yeah.
So 2nd and 10, 6:09 to go. Quarterback keeps it himself. Deep throw down the field, off the hands, and that one's picked off. The Bearcats have it down the sideline and tackled out of bounds. The Bearcats force a turnover and have the field right near the 12-yard line. So just like that, Wheeler gets the football back with under 6 minutes to go. And for Bullion, I mean, it's just so tough for him. He's trying to find some guys. You have that drop on the previous play, and then right there, the interception.
Well, again, that went through hands first, though. That was like that was the old tip drill, but those Bearcats making most of the opportunity.
So Wheeler trying to get that last touchdown to really just put this one away. Senior night for them. And there's a handoff. Kingery trying to find some room, but tackled at about the line of scrimmage. So that time will just keep ticking.
Got back, like, might have lost a yard, but the Panthers are still fighting, Jack.
Yeah,
and
they
they're
are.
Not, you know, the defense is giving himself a chance against a powerful Wheeler offense.
One thing Phil Mason will always have in his team is they fight.
They're going to have grit.
They fight until the game is over, no matter what the score is.
You have that Griffith pride and grit.
Yeah. So 2nd and 11, 5 and 22 counting. 2 running backs and a receiver for the Bearcats. One on the far sideline is the receiver. Klimczak is going to hand it off to his running back, Jaden Ortiz, tackled and spun down 2 yards on the gain. So it's going to be a 3rd down for Wheeler.
And the clock's rolling.
And the clock's rolling. I think that's really their biggest priority is just to have that clock rolling.
Yeah, I mean, it's Griffith, maybe biggest opponent at this point.
Get out of here. Well, like I said, get out of here before it starts raining again.
Well, I think we're okay for a while, aren't we? Aren't we, weatherman?
That's what we always think here in Northwest Indiana weather. You never know what
it's October, and it could be snowing, Jack.
Yeah, that is true. That's what I'm saying. You never know with the weather here. 3rd down and 8, 4:35. Klimczak, he is going to hand it off. Kingery, and nowhere to go for that freshman running back, about a yard on the run. So it's going to be 4th and 7.
I think if it was me here, I'd run the clock all the way down, maybe call a timeout.
Yeah.
And kick a field goal. I would practice. You're going to need field goal kickers in the postseason. You're going to have to take a shot.
A field goal might be coming here for Wheeler. It can waste this clock all the way down to about 3:30. Ty Venical will be the field goal kicker, 2 for 4 on the year. His longest was 46 yards.
And he did miss an extra point. If he makes this, he's going to point up to you, Jack. And
let's see if he can
taunt you.
Well, let's see. I hope he makes.
Oh.
And there's a low snap.
Oh, here we go.
And the Griffith Panthers recover it at the 20-yard line. Another turnover, you can say, right there. The interception, now the fumble right there, a bad snap.
It's a turnover and downs,
Yeah, Griffith, another chance here, but it's
just can't put him away.
The defense and just keeping them alive. I mean, it's slowly happening, but for Griffith, obviously the offense isn't there. But, I mean, I guess for the defense, you have to be proud because this is a Wheeler offense that's averaging 40 points on their 5-game win streak. And only at 21 right now, and there's been a couple of stops in that red zone.
And we have seen with the new quarterback here, we've seen him throwing the ball.
Yeah.
Rolling out, moving the pocket, hitting guys in the hands, dropped one across the middle there. So, like I said, as a freshman, he's giving himself a chance.
3:47. Griffith on the Wheeler 20-yard line, or I should say their own 20-yard line. Here's the freshman quarterback, drops back, and he's dropped.
Ball's loose.
And there's the ball on the ground. It's a fumble and recovered by the Bearcats. Oh, man, talk about taking a shot right there. A huge hit. Joey Mukatura was the man on the sack and the forced fumble, his second sack of the year. And this defense in the last 5 games has been impressive because, including tonight's game, they have 19 sacks and 8 interceptions in the last 6 games now.
Yeah. Again, here, last 25 minutes of this game has been all turnover.
Yeah.
No one really wants to finish it here.
So 3:43, Wheeler with the ball once again. Klimzak hands it off to his running back, Ortiz. Up the middle for a couple of yards, but is met. And it looks like we do have a Panther down right now and trying to make his way back up. Some of the trainers and coaches right now for Griffith making their way out into the middle of the field.
Real quick here, Jack, I'm gonna give the offensive line some love.
You go do that.
They've got over, Ortiz gets a lot of the press, and he's got over 200 yards rushing, but we got Landon Good, left tackle, left guard, Blake Tichy. Sorry, Blake, if I mispronounced your name. Vinny Metros, Mitch Krolikowski. That's a football name, by the way. All-region football name right there. Braden Olson, a right tackle. So those guys have been doing an amazing job in the trenches.
And there's a little touch pass to Compton on the far sideline, but tackled by the legs. Nicely done by the Griffith defense. Now 3rd down.
He spread that out wide. He's come up a little limp. He's come up a little lame on his leg. If you're Griffith at this point, you don't want injuries.
Yeah, about 3rd and 1. 3 minutes to go.
Look, number 44, A.J. Farr, their middle linebacker, junior. A little gimpy right now. That's if you're Coach Mason and staff, let's get out of here. Let's get on the bus and get healthy quick.
It's been a rough night just because, obviously it's no fun playing in the rain and you're losing a game like this, and it's a quick turnaround because next Friday night it's playoffs. And playoffs are a whole different atmosphere than the regular season. Looks like we'll have a timeout here with 2:44 to go. We're going to take a 30-second break here on our game night built by Von Tobel on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Late in the 3rd quarter, Westside on top of Calumet, 30-22. A smashing debut for Boone Grove at their new stadium tonight, 45-0 over Bishop Knoll.
So for Crowell, I would say Ortiz.
Yeah.
Boilermakers. Jackson Lawson, 2 picks.
There you go.
And
then the play game.
The fake punt?
The fake punt at 10:32 in the 3rd, right? That was in the 3rd quarter.
We'll just do that then.
Yeah. That was 3rd quarter, right? That fake punt?
No, that was a 4th.
Was it 4th?
Yeah. So for Wheeler, 2:44, 21-6. Klimzak with 3 receivers out there. Drops back, looking for a man in the middle of the end zone and over the head and incomplete, but there's a flag.
That was pass interference on that play.
I believe that's what's going to be pass interference on the Griffith Panther defense.
Holy moly.
That or holding, but there was some contact, and the intended receiver was kind of initialing that he was being held. We'll see, though. Yep, calling it on the defense, so that will help Wheeler get closer to the end zone. And then very close to their 4th touchdown of the night. Of course, all 3 of them, courtesy of junior running back Jaden Ortiz.
Somebody go over and tell Wheeler to run the football, please.
Klimzak, he wants a passing touchdown.
No.
Came in with 17 tonight, 13 in the last 5 games.
Run the football. Get the clock from moving.
On the 5, there's a handoff. The freshman Kingery tackled just in front of that end zone, so the clock will keep ticking. 1 yard to go. And Klimzak will make his way back to the sideline and get his play call right here. Sure, it's pretty simple what he's telling him out there. Run.
Yeah.
HB dive.
Right. So you play Tecmo Bowl and Madden football.
I've played real football a little bit, like
HB dive.
HB dive, yeah. Right up the middle when you're at that 1 yard line. You got Ortiz and Kingery out there. Couple men in motion. Klimzak. And that one's handed off to Kingery, the freshman at the goal line.
I think he's short.
They did give it to
Oh, they did.
Colton Kingery.
They kind of looked at each other.
The freshman running back, his 2nd one of the year. And the Wheeler Bearcats, that might have put the nail in the coffin. It's 27-6. And as of right now, it's 27 straight unanswered points.
Yeah, I think Wheeler's making a nice little statement here tonight against a solid Griffith team.
Offensively and defensively, I would say. 27-6, 1:49 to go. Ty Venical, the extra point is up. And
there you go.
It is no good.
Yeah.
So the score will remain 27-6.
They call this the Jack game because he's started a streak of missing extra points now.
Not the Jack game. It is one of our game nights built by Von Tobel, as we're going to take a 30-second break, and we'll be right back.
Some see a student athlete working hard in the weight room. We see a future leader learning there are no shortcuts to success. Some see a start to a swim meet. We see the starting blocks for life. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
Back here on our game night built by Von Tobel at Wheeler High School. The Bearcats are number 8 team in the RSN top 10 rankings. Lead the Griffith Panthers 27-6, 4 rushing touchdowns on the night so far. 3 from Jaden Ortiz and 1 from the freshman Colton Kingery. And there's a little bit of a squib kick right there, and it looks to be jumped on, and looks like they'll be at the 25-yard line. And Griffith with 1:48 to go. Doug, obviously not the result they wanted, but you're going to have to really put this game behind you.
Well, you have to. That's the only option you have. Next week when you play, if you're Griffith, if you play Rensselaer. Everybody in the state's 0-0. I know it's cliche, but you lose and you go home. I mean, it's that simple. I mean, simplify again. You need to get healthy. You know, again, we talked about hopefully their quarterback's okay and moving in the right direction. But, you know, simplify, get some film, and at the end of the day, for Coach Mason, this game doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
If anything, it's you got to find another way to move the ball.
1:48, Bullion with the snap, rolls to his right. He's going to keep it himself. And, man, as he hit hard, the clock will keep running down at about the line of scrimmage. He's taking a couple of hard hits back there.
He's taking some shots. Welcome to varsity football. But, yeah, these Wheeler defensive backs really hit.
Yeah, absolutely. And that time keeps ticking. See that Griffith not really in any sense of urgency, kind of accepting the result of this one, and
the play clock hasn't even started
just
yet.
going to have to lick their wounds and get back to practice on Monday.
Is anybody going to start the play clock?
It is. Well, there's a minute.
There we go.
Minute on the clock. And there's a handoff to Lawson. Lawson to his left and up the middle. Almost breaks a tackle, but brought down by the hip. It's going to be the 34-yard line. Not enough for that first down. It's 48 seconds and counting on the clock, so Griffith will be forced to run at least one more play before this game is over. So here is what might be the final play of tonight's game, and a handoff to Lawson. And Lawson able to get 2 yards. That is going to be a Four Seasons mechanical first down for the Panthers with 25 seconds to go.
See if they run another play or just concede here.
Well, it's 20 seconds and counting right now. They don't need to run another play.
No,
and
they're lining up.
Yep, they're going to line up on that sideline and call it a day. But for the Wheeler Bearcats, keeping their winning streak alive, and they have clinched and won the GSSC South title for the first time since 2015. A huge win for Wheeler, and they will go into postseason with a 6-game winning streak. And now it's time to name the Crowd Company's Lantern Man Superhero of the Game. They have offices open from 9 to 7 Monday through Friday, and Saturdays until 2. And here is your winner. It's going to be Jaden Ortiz, the running back for the Wheeler Bearcats. 3 touchdowns, over 200 yards rushing. We talked about how running is going to be the most important thing tonight, and that's what Jaden Ortiz did, and he's the Crowd Company's Lantern Man Superhero of the Game.
Yeah, the more they win and the more, press they get, the more people are going to be aware of this guy, and he is a stud, and he's fast. Boy, he hits the hole, and he's gone. No one catches him. So great game by Ortiz and his offensive line helping him out tonight.
Once again, Jaden Ortiz is your Crowd Company's Lantern Man Superhero of the Game. Now it's time to name the Boilermakers Blue Collar Player of the Game, provided by Boilermakers Local 374. Earn while you learn with Boilermakers Local 374. Learn about apprenticeship programs and more at local374.org. And we talked about it, kind of off air. And, giving him an award, it's weird because it's not for his running efforts. It's for his defensive efforts. And Jackson Lawson, 2 picks tonight.
Yeah. He was, again, he's an Iron Man. We had a few of those tonight, and we saw somebody get hurt, and when it hurts both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
But as far as this award, Jackson Lewis was just played all out on both sides. Had two big picks, and he did everything he could to give Panthers a shot here tonight.
Yeah, once again, Jackson Lawson is your Boilermakers Local 374 Blue Collar Player of the Game. Had 2 interceptions on the night. Now it's time to name the proud Union Home Play of the Game, presented by IKORCC, the Indiana, Kentucky, Ohio Regional Council of Carpenters. Build your future, where you can learn more at IKORCC.com. It's that fake punt run. I mean, when Wheeler, they couldn't really get their offense going, they needed that type of play. Now, Wheeler was ahead of the game by a lot, but that play really kind of put the nail in the coffin because they were in the red zone, and they were going to have to give the ball back to Griffith for the 3rd time in a row if that fake punt play didn't work.
Yeah, 10:32 in the 4th, Tyne Vetical, their kicker. He's quite the athlete. He's also a receiver and soccer player. Good luck to him tomorrow. So, yeah, when you have guys that can do more than one thing, and he's multifaceted and great effort, and for the Bearcats, like you said, that really took almost at that point a lot of the doubt.
Yeah.
And kept any kind of momentum going Wheeler's way.
And once again, your proud Union Home Play of the Game, presented by KRCC. Ty Venico with that fake punt. As you can see on the camera, the Wheeler Bearcats were taking pictures and celebrating. As we were talking about, tonight's win has given them the GSSC South title for the first time since 2015, and they have a lot to be proud and excited for, just because they have a lot going for them right now. Obviously, we talked about that title. 6 wins in a row, and under first-year head coach Nick Testa, they improved to 6-3. So you saw that on the end zone, them celebrating and taking pictures. That's just because what a night it's been for them. It's also senior night. It's always fun to get a win on senior night. A big thank you to our executive producer, Chris Ramirez, our operations manager, Rich Castillo, our coordinating producer, Claude Martinez. A big thank you to Doug Nelson, our producer and cameraman, Nate Ramian, Justin Cole, and Scott Stussel. A big thank you to both coaches for getting the broadcasters ready for tonight's game, Phil Mason of Griffith and Nick Testa Wheeler. A big thank you to both athletic directors for helping us do tonight's game. For Griffith, Neil Demos, and for Wheeler, Jeff Enright. And of course, you, the viewers, youtube.com/Region Sports, facebook.com/Region Sports, regionsports.com, and ihsatv.org. Once again, number 8, Wheeler Bearcats win tonight's game. They go in the postseason play with a 6-game winning streak and clinch the GSSC South title. But for Jack Thiel, I'm going to be signing off. Everybody have a safe night as you're watching Game Night built by Von Tobel here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Pepe's Mexican Restaurant in Griffith is an original concept, a full-service restaurant offering casual family dining as well as carry-out service. The menu at Pepe's offers customers a broad selection of authentic Mexican-style food prepared in the traditional Mexican manner. Pepe's, where friends and family can gather to enjoy the company of one another in a friendly atmosphere. Located at 222 East Ridge Road in Griffith, Pepe's is open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner. Pepe's Mexican Restaurant, 923-6293. Pepe's. Olé!
Update your kitchen or bathroom with Von Tobel. Get 20% off select cabinets now through October 28th. Von Tobel has cabinets and vanities in a range of styles and colors. Plus, built-in storage, countertops, and flooring. Our designers will help you find the perfect selections for your style and budget. Scan to visit VonTobels.com today to book your free consultation at one of our 4 Indiana showrooms. Von Tobel. Building better together.
Quintel Incorporated is a family-owned and operated company located in Northwest Indiana that specializes in the reconditioning, repair, and remanufacturing of heat exchangers. Since 1994, Quintel has been handling jobs of all sizes throughout the country. Equipped with the most modern technology and advanced tools, Quintel provides top-notch service. When you trust Quintel for all your needs, you'll get peace of mind and a finished job that exceeds your expectations. For more info about Quintel and the services they provide, visit quintel-inc.com.
Four Seasons Mechanical proudly serves Northwest Indiana, providing quality, reasonably priced, reliable service. With a quality and comfort guarantee, the professionals at Four Seasons Mechanical offer a wide range of services in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Whether it's residential or commercial, Four Seasons Mechanical is there 24/7. To find out more, the website is fourseasonsmechanical.com or give them a call at 219-756-7020. Four Seasons Mechanical, your indoor air quality specialist.
When life keeps you busy and you can't get to the store, shop online with Strachan Van Til To Go. Our to-go service is easy to use. Register using your rewards account information, fill your virtual cart, and choose delivery or pickup. Once your order is in, our own Strachan Van Til team preps your order with care. With our to-go service, you can earn reward points and save time and money with our online coupons and weekly ad prices. Life made simple, shopping made easy. For more information or to sign up, visit shop.strachanvantil.com.
Hi, I'm Crowell Company's Lantern Man. I'll cover your motorcycle. I'll be with you on the water. I'll be with you on the snow. I'll cover your insurance needs wherever you go. I'll be at Crowell Agency from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. As Crowell Company's Lantern Man, I'm your insurance superhero.
Crowell Companies, the insurance professionals in Highland, Maryville, and Michigan City.
From schools to stadiums, hospitals and bridges, everywhere you look, union carpenters are building Indiana. With jobs and skilled trades in high demand, there's never been a better time to start building your future. As an apprentice, you'll earn a debt-free college degree, earn while you learn, and receive great benefits like healthcare and retirement. So what are you waiting for? Visit carpenters.com to learn more. Visit carpenters.com and start building your future today.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Growing up in Northwest Indiana, I am proud that my family's been doing business here for nearly 100 years, which started with my grandfather, John Gladish. Over my career, I've witnessed families being torn apart by the negligence of others, and everything from unguarded openings at construction sites to reckless driving on our roads. Our experienced attorneys, paralegals, and staff know that insurance companies and their lawyers will go to great lengths to avoid paying compensation. Do not waste your one and only opportunity to seek fair compensation for your loss. Give the Gladish Law Group a call and put our team to work for you.
Welcome to Public Bar and Rec, located in downtown Crown Point, a place for good games, good drinks, and good food. So come in and make it public. Try to survive zombie dodgeball, score a hole-in-one playing golf, or choose from over 13 multi-sport simulator games while fueling your competition with a variety of appetizers, entrees, and beverages. We have games for all ages with our family-friendly hours till 9 p.m. Reserve your simulator at publicbarandrec.com and let the fun begin.